C'est un peu comme Zoom, vu la quantité de monde qu'on est.
Ouais, mais d'habitude, si tu as un host, tu sais, t'as comme. C'est pas tout le monde qui est des hosts. Tu peux avoir juste quelqu'un qui gère comme que tout le monde est muté, puis unmute le monde là, quand il raise les hands, puis je sais pas quoi. Là. Je sais pas, à ma job, on fait des meetings à 80 personnes, là, genre, on fait des assemblées là, à 80 personnes, puis il y a juste une personne qui est responsable dans le meeting de gérer ça, puis that's it, là.
C'est pas tant ça le problème pour moi, c'est surtout que là, on a déjà envoyé des invitations sur ce lien-là, en pensant que tout était chill.
Ouais, c'est correct.
C'est ça, là.
Ouais, il y avait des tests qui étaient faits avant, puis ça marchait. Donc, mais avec la technologie, tu peux arriver. Donc,
Non, c'est ma faute. I thought it was like smooth and easy.
D'ailleurs, Arnaud, on ne voit plus. Là.
Yeah, I know. Moi, j'ai fermé ma. There's quelqu'un. For the board, what should we do? Start another reunion and just invite the people that will join during the event to switch, or keep it as it is and just give the voice to the people without any video.
It's just so stupid because I've been in another webinar where it was possible for the video, so we're so close.
Arnaud, let's give you another few minutes to try to figure it out, and if in maybe 5 minutes it's not, then we'll start a new call.
Right.
Arnaud, I sent you a YouTube link on Messenger. It's something like a 20-second, and maybe it will be relevant. Maybe you can put someone else co-host so we can try to figure it out with you.
Go on.
Elizabeth said thinks that we should just promote everyone to panelist and treat it as a regular Zoom call.
Sounds good.
Is that a possibility, Arnaud?
Yes, it is.
Let's do that then.
Okay.
Great idea, Elizabeth.
Arnaud, when you have the chance.
I'm doing it.
I'm gonna need eventually the new link to the YouTube.
Sure, ready. It's already copied. Let's do. What? What?
I put it in the chat for you, Kevin.
Merci.
Okay, so I think everybody is host right now, so that's it. Another host, like a conférencier.
All right, are we good to go? We're ready to start?
I think so. Let's maybe try the pool. So everybody is on the Slido channel.
Yes. Not yet. I already have too many things open.
You can let her run the meeting.
Oh, okay. So, parfait. So maybe in the room, raise your hand if you answered the Slido, just to be sure I got all the answers and everybody's okay. Si vous avez répondu au Slido, what does l'orgasme means to you? Please raise your hand. One. Okay, I will be more clear. Please.
Yeah, I get it.
Aaron, the link for the Slido is in your emails. You have received it around 3 today.
Good.
Oh.
So this is working. And then the second one.
So we have to answer this new question?
Yeah, there's a new question. Please, if you can, answer the same one.
Oh.
And for the results, I will just share my screen. There we go. Mais c'est bien. Vous avez des bons scores. Bravo à tous. So I think we're ready to start.
Okay, sorry, I needed to pull up the agenda for today. We're ready to go?
I think so. From my side, we are.
Okay. Just as a little note, if anybody's experiencing any technical difficulties during the rest of of today's meeting, to just contact Arnaud. You can message him directly through the message chat part of Zoom. And he's going to be working in the background to make sure that this runs as smoothly as possible. Donc, merci d'avance, Arnaud, pour faire ça. C'est pas un job facile.
Voilà, tu l'essayé des choses, là. C'est parfait.
Ouais. And just a quick note on language. The official languages of the Orgasm are both French and English. We support anybody to speak in whichever language they feel most comfortable doing. Donc, soyez-vous à l'aise de vous exprimer dans la langue que vous êtes le plus à l'aise. Habile. Et on s'assurera de la participation de tout le monde de la meilleure de nos capacités. We know that there's some people who are unilingual, so if you have any questions about anything that's going to be coming up, or especially when it comes to voting, please make sure to ask for clarification if necessary. But the meeting will not be held simultaneously in both languages. We're just going to kind of have to switch back and forth selon les besoins de chaque personne. Okay, great. So let's open the meeting. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We're a little bit later than usual for the annual meeting. Normally, we would have this about a month ago. Considering the circumstances, it needed to be held a little bit later, and we also wanted to make sure to prepare ourselves as much as possible with a virtual meeting, also our financial documents, all that stuff that's going to be presented to you today. So we have a very large and complete meeting today, and I'm personally very happy to see that there are so many of you here participating. Avant qu'on continue, je vais passer la parole à Arnaud pour expliquer le protocole Zoom pour assurer que tout soit fluide.
Yeah. One second. Perfect. So I suggest to anybody that would like to take the voice to raise their hand, but their visual hand. So on Zoom, you're supposed to get like a possibility just to raise your hand, and we'll give you the right to speak when it's gonna be the right time. If you have any question, you can go in the Q&R on Zoom, and I will like take your question and pass it to the conference. Keep, for the people that got the right to vote, keep another window open with the Slido. At the moment we need to vote, I will just prepare the questions, and we'll vote on the other platform. So this is pretty much it. Is it okay for everybody?
Merci Arnaud. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui a des questions sur le fonctionnement du meeting aujourd'hui? Does anybody have any questions about how the technology aspect of the meeting is going to work? I'll take that as a no. Okay, fantastic. So we need to elect a president and secretary for today's meeting.
I propose that Asha be the president and that I act as secretary.
Does anybody second?
I support.
I second.
Fantastic. Okay. Then we'll get going. So just a quick presentation of our agenda for today. I hope that everybody had a chance to look at it before we started, but I'm just going to quickly name things and to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So we're going to start with our definition of members. I'll get into the context around that now, but we're looking at having a larger context of members, and that will it will be voted on by our current members. After that, we're going to suspend our general meeting for a special meeting. The special meeting is about the number of admin positions in the board of directors, and I'll get to contextual information around that as well. And the number of admins will then be voted on by the members. Following that, we'll then go to the appointment of directors. So you should have received 4 candidacies of people who would like to be part of the board of directors. However, I will say that if there's any spontaneous candidacies of people who would like to be part of the board, that's welcome. I wanted to send out a message online last night. It was brought to my attention from another board member that there was some clarification needed, that we can take spontaneous candidacies. And unfortunately, I didn't get to it yesterday. So I wanted to let you know now, members, if you didn't have a chance to propose your candidacy, you still can during today's meeting. And then following that will be a presentation of annual reports. So the activities that happened in 2019 will also have a presentation of our financial statements and revenues and expenses. We'll then make a voting decision of whether our finances should be audited or not. Oh, excuse me, I messed up the elections and the appointment of directors. My mistake. The elections come after that point, after the auditors. I'm sorry about that. The elections, and then after the elections, we'll hopefully have some more time to take on any member requests. So if members have anything that they would like to say to the newly elected board, that's a really great time. And I've written a question in our agenda to help frame that discussion. And to sort of give a way of looking forward looking forward with hope for the next phase of the orgasm, and for you, the members, and what is the collective vision of what we want to build. Does anybody have any questions about the agenda? All right, let's do this.
Before we start, could I make a simply moment to thank everybody for being here, but also be grateful myself for the safety in which I live. These days you realize that not everybody has access to the same safety. I will say explicitly that race, queer identity, has a direct impact on this, and so I wanted to take a moment to raise that with you.
Thanks, Kimmy. Thank you. I don't really have anything else to say as related to that, but thanks for bringing it up. It's really important as a reminder, especially with everything that's going on right now. Okay. Okay. So members, definition of members. For those of you who are participating in this meeting for the first time, for those of you who were here last year, for those of you who have been part of the organization for a while, in my greeting message and invitation to the meeting tonight, I mentioned that it might be the first time you hear about the orgasm. And if it is, it's not at all surprising. The organization for a very long time was focused just on the running of Tabernacle. And then eventually on the organizing of Listed Burn. And it's now opening up into a new phase of looking at how it can better serve the local Montreal community. And so in serving the local Montreal community is not just by events, although those events are catalyzers for experience and community. And so the members at last year's meeting brought up that they would like to create a broader definition of who the organization's members are. To be very honest, the board spent a really, really long time talking about what that is and what it could be. And it's a really hard question to answer because you want to be inclusive and include everyone, but you also have to be mindful of which members carry vote and which members are implicated enough to understand all of the complexities that it is of running an organization and the legal, financial, survival, et cetera, et cetera. So we came up with a proposed definition for members, which I think is a really good compromise between all of those things and does its best to include as many people as possible. So the members are currently limited to organizers of events. So those are people who've contributed significantly to past or future events, most specifically leads and co-leads, or in some cases, volunteers. The new proposal would create a two-tier membership. So the membership would be a general membership, which would include anybody who's participated in a Burning Man official or unofficial event or in an orgasm event in the last 5 years. So that means anybody from the public who's participated in the events in whatever capacity, either as part of a camp, as an individual, you name it, you came, you can be a member. The second tier of membership would be voting members. So voting members are people who've contributed to the running of events. So that means somebody who's contributed 20 hours, 20 volunteer hours to helping the event run. If you're looking at the agenda with me, the proposal in all of its lovely language is there. For those of you who might not have it in front of you, I'm going to read it very quickly just so that we're all on the same page.
Was it be possible for somebody that has access to the document to screen share so that everybody could see
yeah,
it?
I can screen share. We have a question from Alex. Alex, c'est qu'est-ce que c'est un événement non officiel de Burning Man? Donc très rapidement, Alex, on a des événements officiels, c'est des événements qui sont sanctionnés par Burning Man. Donc, l'Hostie de Burn et Tabernacle sont des événements officiels de Burning Man. Ils ont le statut de Burning Man, ils ont le droit de porter le nom Burning Man parce qu'ils doivent suivre un certain nombre de règlements qui sont statués par BMORG. Des événements non officiels, c'est des événements qui sont organisés par la communauté pour la communauté sans le statut officiel. Est-ce que ça répond à ta question?
Ben, de mémoire, j'essaie de savoir c'est quoi, qu'est-ce que ça serait, là?
Marché noir, contrebandier éphémère, peut-être.
Oui.
Okay.
Ça serait
C'est
un
un
excellent
très bon exemple.
Tous les événements qui ont été organisés chez Yannick, par exemple, Spring, Rites of Spring, par exemple, également. C'est qu'il y a des formulaires, il y a de la paperasse à remplir avec BMORG pour devenir un événement officiel.
Ça, je savais, c'est juste, je n'avais pas réalisé. Là. Dans le fond, tous les fundraisers ici, en théorie, ça en fait partie. Là.
Oui, effectivement. Vos événements Robotart, les événements Midnight.
Si je peux ajouter au nom de Hostie de Burn, c'est une question qui s'était posée aussi pour nous autres. Est-ce que l'événement a besoin d'être
officiel
ou pas? Puis pour nous, on s'était dit, ben oui, mais c'est pas un must. Fait qu'il se pourrait que Hostie de Burn ne soit plus un jour. Puis pour nous, c'était pas un gros enjeu. Pour l'organisation de Hostie de Burn, c'était pas grave.
Okay, I'm going to screen share the proposal. 1 second. Okay, everyone should be able to see it now.
Yes.
We're good? Okay,
yeah.
Fantastic. Article 2 members, the point 1 is the one that I just spoke about. So what is general membership? Anybody who's participated in an official or unofficial event in the last 5 years. And every general member may attend or be heard at general meetings and be notified about meetings. That means they can stay up to date about all the things that are happening. They can hear, they can have their say. The only difference between a general membership and a voting member is that voting members are those who have contributed a minimum of 20 hours in the last 2 years to the orgasm events. So those are the people who are invested in the financial, legal, and running of the orgasm and its events. And we talk about events being held in the last 2 years or to be held within the next year. So that means that any work that's currently being done, for example, to hold the next Hostie de Burn or the next Tabernacle, even if that event hasn't already taken place, is counted within the possibility of the 20 plus hours that it would take to become a voting member. And voting members would request membership to become to the membership officer, who's a person nominated by the board who's responsible for approving memberships and maintaining the registrar of members. Membership, whether general or voting, expires when the criteria isn't relevant anymore, and that's the job of the membership officer to keep those books up to date. However, you don't have to be a member anymore. You can also say that you don't want to just by writing a quick email to the membership officer. And then finally, contribution to become a voting member. As I said before, it can be acting as a lead, co-lead, volunteer, committee member, theme camp organizer, project lead, or independent contribution to the event. One of the examples that we came up as a committee member or independent contribution, for example, are those people who are part of the consent committee, who gave a lot of time, but were not necessarily a part of the running of the event or a theme camp organizer. Does anybody have any questions about the proposal? The proposal for membership? Questions, concerns, need of clarification?
Avez-vous un lien de download du PDF?
Mais si tu vas sur le site de montrealburners.com, tous les documents qu'on utilise aujourd'hui sont accessibles sur le site.
OK, parfait. Je vais aller faire ça.
Il y a Arnaud qui l'a mis dans les commentaires et Aaron qui l'a mis dans les commentaires aussi.
Puis j'allais justement le faire aussi.
C'est le document Agenda and Proposals. Ça contient tout ce qui va y avoir aujourd'hui, tout ce qui va être proposé aujourd'hui.
Please don't be shy. We gave ourselves half an hour to talk about this point. So,
maybe everybody agrees.
Lewis says, to me, it's an open concept and basically you need to participate in somehow.
Yeah.
So Lewis,
Je suis en train de lire les fine print, là.
okay, oui.
Donc, si je comprends bien, une performance, ça compterait comme une contribution indépendante à l'événement?
Ça peut compter comme une contribution indépendante, mais il faut penser que c'est 20 heures ou plus de volontariat. Mais c'est sûr que en termes de membership, comme j'avais mentionné avant, on s'est parlé longuement parce que, mettons, dans le cas d'un artiste, tout le temps qu'il consacre à la création de leur spectacle, est-ce que c'est une contribution au événement ou non? C'est vraiment difficile à mettre de cadre hyper clair sans que ça soit hyper exclusif à certaines personnes. Puis on veut reconnaître la contribution de beaucoup de monde, que ça soit à l'organisation de l'événement tel quel, comme un lead ou co-lead, mais toutes les personnes qui apportent quelque chose de plus, qui sont vraiment investies dans l'événement et dans la communauté. Donc, pour moi, c'est pas une personne qui arrive, qui participe, qui fait quelque chose, mais c'est des personnes qui s'investissent.
I guess mettons, un artiste ou si c'est un groupe d'artistes, mettons que tu as une installation, je vais donner, mettons, je sais pas quoi, là, un super gros projet pour un passant, tu as une équipe, c'est juste le lead qui peut devenir un membre votant ou est-ce que c'est comme l'équipe au complet? Parce que là, je vois Project Lead, I guess it goes into Project Lead, mais pas super clair. I guess c'est de l'interprétation du là.
Je ne sais pas si les autres membres du board ont quelque chose en réponse à la question d'Alex.
J'ai l'impression que n'importe qui sent qu'il a effectivement donné 20 heures de son temps dans le cadre d'un team camp, moi, je lui dis bienvenue. Si c'est quelqu'un qui a juste payé et qui a profité de la cuisine, c'est une autre chose. Mais c'est pour ça que le 20 heures devient la façon symbolique de dire qu'au bout du compte, tout le monde est bienvenu tant que l'effort est là.
Ouais, non, moi, je posais plus la question par rapport à un point de vue, mettons, pas qui ne sont pas des team camps, là, genre, mettons, les gens qui ont fait des installations artistiques, et, qui ont eu, par exemple, quelqu'un qui a eu un grant, I guess, s'il y a eu un grant, c'est parce qu'on a jugé qu'il était comme un participant. Là. Je ne sais pas, je fais juste discuter là, à voix haute.
Ben, en
Ouais,
fait, c'est parce qu'on n'a pas vraiment mis de limite de ce côté-là formel et je pense que justement, le but, c'était d'avoir quelque chose de plus ouvert parce que c'est quelque chose qui crée un problème. I'm going to say in English because just in case some people didn't. The question right now is regarding, what's are people's contribution, including when there's a group. If can one person say I participated part of a group. And like how precise or unprecise the language of the last paragraph is. And the thing I'm saying is, I think we left it open-ended because right now we had a problem that it was too strict. And so we're like, oh, you were not a co-lead, you were not a volunteer, you were an artist, that doesn't count. Oh, you are theme camp organizers. You spend 20 hours at least preparing a theme camp for Lusted Burn, but nope, that is not contributing to the event. And in the idea that we're taking both Tabernacle and Lusted Burn away from being organized by a central crew and more about having a lot of people's independent contribution, I think the language is trying to reach that and recognize that the contribution can take a lot of different colors.
Il y a Louis qui a demandé, it might be interesting to ask for a small symbolic amount for an inscription, $5 to $10 as a passage thing. Louis, it's an interesting idea, but membership doesn't cost anything. And membership is not costing anything is in our bylaws. And that would, requesting a contribution amount would also require us to make an amendment on this level to the bylaws.
J'ai une question.
Oui, Sarah.
Je me demandais en fait comment c'est jugé, comment le membership officer décide si quelqu'un c'est valide ou non, vu qu'on ne connaît pas nécessairement tout le monde.
Camille, elle est membership officer présentement, donc oui.
Well, that's why that's why we put the form that some of you have filled to become a member, and that's why we ask you details about what you did for the contribution. And so I read that and I look whether or not it's reasonable considering the description that you did, that you gave 20 hours. We did not ask for a detail of, well, right as of now it's only 10 hours, so it was 20 hours might be a little more. Verification required.
Pour ça, je pense qu'on peut mentionner aussi, il y a, I don't know if you did it that way, but like there's always people surrounding that can be a reference to a new member. Peut-être qu'on demanderait ça à des membres d'expliquer avec comme quelqu'un, quel projet, quel événement. Puis comme on s'est parlé avant hier pour des trucs de Lusted Burn, il y a peut-être moyen de toujours créer une traçabilité sur qui s'est impliqué où. So...
Oui, mais pour les bénévoles, dans les événements, les membres du board, le lead, le co-lead, c'est facile. C'est des personnes qui sont impliquées au sein de l'organisme. Pour les autres personnes qui ont donné une implication individuelle, c'est plus difficile et c'est à cette personne de décrire de la meilleure leur capacité, c'est quoi la contribution de 20 heures et plus qu'ils ont donné, comme Camille avait mentionné dans le formulaire. Donc, personally, I think that if somebody's going to take the time to reflect on, to write down their membership, to ask for membership, and to want to be implicated in the organization, that is showing a level of willingness to participate, which is more than just clicking on something online, etc. It requires somebody to go forward and give more information. So I think already that's a little bit self-selecting of the people who would want to participate in the organization as a voting member. Est-ce que ça répond à ta question, Sarah?
Oui, c'est bon.
OK.
Merci.
Oui. Est-ce qu'il y avait d'autres questions ou d'autres...
Oui, est-ce qu'on peut te voir? Ta caméra ne fonctionne pas.
Ah! Je suis encore là. Est-ce que vous me voyez?
No.
No.
Okay. Oh, here you go.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
back now.
Are there any other questions? We still have about 5 minutes. If there's any other questions or concerns.
For members who were there last year, is this proposal fixing some of the things that you were hoping to see? Because I know that this was a big subject at last year's general meeting.
Ouais, je pense que je peux prendre la parole. J'étais un des premiers à demander que l'orgasme devienne plus inclusif, qu'on ait plus de monde à Metz. Puis là, je vois qu'on est rendu quasiment 30. Fait que déjà, je pense que c'est un bon pas. Alex Marie demandait comment, mettons, on allait paramétrer qui devenait les voting members, qui étaient les members. Je pense que, tu sais, dans toute cette réflexion-là, ce qui nous a, au travers de l'année, ce qu'on s'est posé, c'est on veut le plus de monde qui puisse parler et s'exprimer parce que c'est ça notre objectif, c'est ça notre mission, c'est de les représenter. Fait après ça, je pense qu'on va y arriver un peu plus tard, mais comment est-ce qu'on fait en sorte que cette organisation qu'elle garde son orientation, on restreint un peu l'accès au board en demandant encore plus d'heures d'engagement. C'est une bonne question que tu poses là sur savoir comment on va qualifier qui va être le maître, le member officer. Camille le fait. À un moment donné, si ça devenait périlleux, comment est-ce qu'on va être sûr de bien avoir un protocole là-dessus? Moi, j'ai l'impression que c'est facile à monter pour faire en sorte qu'il y ait des personnes références ou qu'on ait un meilleur contrôle des heures offertes. Mais fondamentalement, l'objectif, c'était qu'on soit plus à jaser de ce qu'on veut faire avec la communauté de burners. Moi, je suis hyper satisfait de ce qu'on présente aujourd'hui, comparativement, en vue de ce qu'on avait discuté l'année dernière.
Oui, et pour ajouter à ça, Arnaud, c'est tout à fait possible que cette définition se peaufine avec le temps aussi. C'est possible que dans quelques années, les membres vont voir qu'ils ont besoin de plus d'encadrement de qui est un membre votant ou non, ou peut-être qu'il va y avoir d'autres types de membership aussi. Donc, il faut voir que c'est une évolution aussi organique. Puis cela représente où on est présentement avec la représentation de membres de la communauté qu'on veut avoir.
Yep.
So if there's no other questions, comments, I think that we can pass to the voting. So for those of you who are currently members, you'll have access to the voting platform. And I'm going to pass the organization of that over to Arnaud.
I think the best way, if somebody can just Camille, tu peux envoyer le lien de tes minutes?
Why?
Excuse, j'essaie de te demander à votre approche, je suis sûr.
My minutes are not to be shared yet.
Formuler la question, puis les choix. Moi, je vais la rédiger. Puis...
je propose la question suivante. Je pense qu'on devrait juste voter sur la proposition telle qu'acceptée. Je ne pense pas que c'est nécessaire de la répéter. Donc, simplement, in favor of the membership definition as proposed. Simple. And if anybody wanted to make an amendment, they could have made it.
I'm writing it.
Est-ce qu'on a besoin d'un quorum pour passer au vote?
Oui, le quorum est de 5, il me semble, pour les assemblées générales annuelles. Ça peut sembler pas beaucoup, mais il faut savoir que dans le temps, on avait genre 7 membres. C'est dans les...
Et donc, la raison d'élargir le type de membres.
So, for the proposition of membership as proposed. C'est correct pour toi?
Yes.
Cool. So, yes or no? I'm saving it, and the pool is activated. You can go and vote. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Il faudrait, ouais. Donc, dans 4 secondes, je vais fermer ça. 4, 3, 2, 1. So, 16 personnes en faveur, 16% for, and no one against.
Merci beaucoup.
Simple.
Yeah!
Hells yes.
C'est vraiment une excellente nouvelle.
On va se travailler fort là-dessus.
C'était pas facile. Parfait. Merci beaucoup tout le monde pour votre écoute et votre implication. Et les membres qui seront impliqués au sein de l'organisme vont le nouveau membre vont vous remercier certainement. Donc, pour passer à le prochain point, en fait, le meeting général, l'assemblée générale, pour ouvrir l'assemblée extraordinaire. So I'm going to suspend the general meeting currently to open the extraordinary assembly. This will only take a few minutes.
Tic, 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 tic.
Camille, je pense que tu es mieux que moi pour expliquer le raisonnement pourquoi.
Okay. Can you temporarily take notes while I talk?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. For the first, I'm going to say that we're going to open the general meeting. So that's first. The second point is to choose a president and secretary for a special meeting. I'm going to propose that we stay with the sames. Anybody disagree? I see no signs. This I consider adopted. So the agenda for the special meeting will be super simple. It's going to be increasing the number of administrators. So are we okay with the agenda? And again, we have a yes. Okay, so I'm going to explain this in English and then in French. Our bylaws used to say that you can increase the number of administrators just by voting it in a general meeting. I'm the one who wrote the bylaws, most of them, like, you know, they've been voted in general meetings, but so the mistake is mine. I apologize. Because of that, since the foundation, at the foundation in 2014, we were 3 founding members, me, Asha, and Glenn. In 2015, Lucky became our vice president. In 2017, Jody and Aaron were added. So all of these times it was voted to increase the number. And eventually last year at the meeting, it was increased to add a reserve seats for representative of recurring events. This was made on a trial basis, but I think everybody will say that it worked great. It was a great addition to this year's dynamic. But here's the catch. According to the law, that needed to be made in a special meeting. Like, you know, we needed to send you special documentation that said, "Oh, we're going to make something special," and so that's why it's written in purple, because it's special. And so and so basically, we need to take that decision in a special meeting. So I'm asking you to, you know, just after the fact say, yes, we agreed with the decision we've taken in 2015, 2017, and 2019 of increasing, and we will just continue as we thought we were okay. So it's just a question of rubber stamping and making things right. En français, rapidement, le nombre d'administrateurs est quelque chose qui doit être augmenté dans une assemblée générale spéciale ou extraordinaire. It's not what was done, c'est pas ce qui a été fait. À la place, on les a fait dans des assemblées générales parce que c'est ce que nos règlements généraux prévoyaient en contravention de la loi. Donc, le but aujourd'hui, c'est de corriger ça et de rétroactivement accepter les changements qui ont été faits et en réalité depuis la fondation de l'organisation. So the proposal is in the document. I'm gonna share screen in a second if I can find what I'm sharing.
Actually, before we do that, Camille, I think maybe it might be interesting to hear from the representatives from the board representatives of the events about what that
What
I mean,
the
like,
experience was?
yeah, what was that experience like, and what if, and I think that speaking from as a board member, that was a very positive experience, but I think the membership would probably like to know what that was like as well. Donc, je ne sais pas, Audrey, Arnaud, si vous voulez parler un peu de votre expérience.
Yes. So for my part, during the last year, there was no tabernacle. So of course, it impacted a little bit how I feel in that role. I will be really interested to have the feedback of a year where the position is actually needed. But it doesn't mean that this person cannot help in any way the board. It's the opposite, actually. So that's one part. Maybe the only thing I will consider relevant to add here is when there's other people that are from the same event. Like, let's say this year there was also Caroline that was a part of Tabernacle's organization. So we were kind of both having the same information, and Carol was probably able to provide the same information than me. So maybe the relevance is even more important when there is no other member that are representing the event. So I don't know, maybe it will be something to discuss in later, but definitely on the question if the position is relevant or not, I will say yes.
Merci Audrey. Arnaud, est-ce que tu as quelque chose à ajouter par rapport à ton expérience?
So I'm mute. So yeah, je suis assez d'accord. I was the one to propose to add those 2 seats reserved for a representation of both events and potentially more. I feel it's been a real good help to keep the discussion open between like Lusty Burn and the Orgasm. I think we had to do this, and I feel like we should continue to keep that seat open just for a good representativity of what's happening in the community. So by my point of view, yeah, it's only positive.
Merci Arnaud. Maud says, I'd like to add that as a lead in the Tabernacle event, it was nice to have a representative at the board. This way information is shared both ways. I don't know if the other board members have anything else to add about the number of board positions or the inclusion of event representation.
I think it's been good having a bigger board. It allows to share the responsibility more broadly, but also to reach more people, because having a very small board puts a very big burden on the few people that are there.
I think it was also just helpful to add other perspectives into our board, because as much as we all try to communicate as well as we can, we're often missing some of the intimate details of what are going on in events. And I think it really helps to have that very internal perspective so we can make more defined choices.
Okay, if nobody else has anything else to add, Camille, if you want to share your screen to show the proposition to everyone.
Yes, absolutely. So the proposal, yes, one to share screen. And we're going to say this one. Yes, please. Okay. So the proposal is, it's only a partial proposal because it only aims to go to target specific parts of this. So we would say specifically that we have 6 elected directors who would put this as a fixed numbers. we would decrease the offending sentence that allowed us to make mistakes in the past. And then we would add the sentence regarding the representative of occurring events. So it specifically says, in addition to elected directors, up to 3 seats are reserved for representatives of recurring events, meaning more than one edition. We say up to 3 seats. That was what was proposed last year, so that if there's more events in the future, we can have an open table for them. Each event can hold a maximum of 1 seat. If there are more than 3 events, event boards must agree amongst themselves to designate a maximum of 3 seats between the events. So example, if you had 6 different events eventually, and we grew so much, then eventually would be a question, not every event can have a representative. So that would be the idea for now. Does anybody want me to repeat in French? I will say that as a no. So any question on the proposal? Any comments? I think we are ready to go. So I'm going to ask for a vote.
Yeah.
So Arnaud, it's going to be same as before, proposal on a number of directors as proposed.
In favor of the...
Before we vote, I'm just going to check in something here for a second, if you allow me. La question me semble bien, Arnaud.
Yeah. Est-ce que je peux l'envoyer?
Oui.
OK. Parfait. So, pour les votants, c'est ouvert. Cinq secondes.
Pour Happy, il faut que tu ailles dans un courriel que tu as reçu à 3h20 à peu près.
Je ferme le bureau.
Ben, il y a Happy qui ne réussit pas à voter, là, mais...
Ben, vu les votes, je pense que ça va être correct. Ça va pas faire...
C'est bon.
Pencher la tendance.
Oui, mais je vais, pour le prochain vote, Happy, tu pourras participer. Il faudrait juste aller voir dans le courriel de Arnaud. Si tu ne le trouves pas, tu peux l'écrire directement. Il va être capable de te le partager.
Je te l'envoie tout de suite, Guy. So, on voit que ben, le vote est unanime.
Anonyme!
Okay. S'il y avait combien de pour, combien de contre? Ben, 0 contre, combien de pour?
17 votes pour, aucun vote.
OK. OK.
Great. End of special meeting.
End of special meeting.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna go for sorry, j'ai un peu déstabilisé. Our next point is the appointment of directors. Again, I'm gonna share my screen here so that you can see. Un instant. Appointment of directors is the point 6. So in the way that we proposed who can be a member, who can be a voting member, how many board seats there are, we also want to talk about who can become a part of the board. So we can see that as like another tier of membership. So it's proposed that those who can be a part of the board are people who've contributed a minimum of 50 hours to the organization within a 2-year period. Donc, on peut voir en bas ici elected directors. So we just voted in that there would be 6 elected directors. And then adding to that would be the 2 event representation board members. So the running of an orgasm event is, I'm so sorry. So in order to be eligible as a board member, you would have to have contributed a minimum of 50 hours to the running of the orgasm or of orgasm events held in the last 2 years or to be held within the next year. The elected directors are then elected for a term of 2 years. One of the things that we brought up last year was that we wanted to ensure stability within the board. And in order to do that, we wanted to have a if more than half of the seats are put up for re-election, that means that that we would only want some of the board members to be re-elected, so that some board members would then have a 1-year term and other directors would have a 2-year term. However, the ones who are elected for 1 year versus ones who are elected for 2 years would be chosen between the board members and not by the membership. Representatives of recurring events. I'm sorry, I mentioned it earlier, but this is where it is. So the addition of up to 3 seats for the events, the 3rd seat being reserved for a possible event that could be created in the future. So we're trying to project ourselves into the future to solve potential future problems. And that those directors are elected by their event boards. So not by the membership of the organization, but by the membership of the people who are organizing their event. And that is done after the general meeting. So for example, today, we'll be voting on board members for the orgasm. And then afterwards, the members of the organizers of Tabernacle and of Listed Burn will discuss among themselves who they elect to be the event board representative. And their mandates last 1 year. And requirement of all directors is that the director must serve as members of coordination of other members, and we're not allowed to get paid.
So basically, this is the rest of the article we just voted on. Like we just voted on the purple parts, and so now you have the rest. You have all the mechanisms around that. The parts that are underlined are the parts that are changed, but it's an open, like the members right now can do any change that they deem necessary.
Yeah. So now's the time to ask any questions, bring up any concerns, ask for clarifications, tout ce que vous avez besoin.
Est-ce que la contribution est définie de la même façon que pour les 50 heures, de la même façon que pour devenir membre?
On n'a pas mis de définition spécifique.
Mais on a mis une définition qui doit être dans la coordination d'autres membres. Donc, ça veut dire qu'une coordination individuelle, donc ça veut dire que j'ai amené un projet personnel au titre personnel, ça ne compte pas. Ils doivent être dans l'organisation d'autres membres. Donc, ça veut dire qu'ils demandent des compétences d'organisation de groupe.
However, I don't think that all 50 hours have to be but yeah, so there's the definition that we put up there is not repeated. It could be repeated, or there could just be a reference to the previous definition for members. Would that be a helpful clarification?
Yeah, I guess it would be good to define what you mean as contribution for the 50 hours. So if it's the same as above, plus the additional requirements, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, don't forget, Elizabeth, that to be elected as a board of director, you already have to be a member. So and likely a voting member. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions, besoin de clarification?
Do I have a proposal to add a definition, a reference to the definition of contribution for members, or that's not a proposal? I will take that as a no. I only accept formal proposals.
Yeah, just to clarify, Elizabeth, if you want your question to be officially documented as a proposal, like to change the language in what we're proposing as a change to the bylaws, then you need to make an official proposal that goes into our notes, and then Kemi can make the revision, and then that's the thing we would vote on as members. So if you want that change formally made, you have to make a formal request for revision.
I think you should. Just to be clear, let's put it on.
Yeah. So it sounds like Arnaud proposes.
I propose to just clarify who's going to be represented. Sorry,
I will have a proposal in 3 seconds. I have a great idea. Orgasm events. I'm going to put this in red, and then no, not like this, like this. Okay. I'm going to propose that this be in red, and this be in green. And my proposal will be that, that's not a good color. Orgasm event. And Camille, t'es pas forte. In a document that I'm going to share in a second. Okay, so I'm just going to change color so that you can actually read it. And I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to have a proposal in 3, 2, 1.
Happy?
Go. So the proposal is to replace the red by the green. So instead of re-saying what orgasm events are, which is the same I was in 2, I propose that we say orgasm event and contribution have the same meaning as in Article 2. That way we don't add additional language, we just say it's the same thing that apply.
Smart, faut que je retrouve ça là.
Tu vas juste écrire comme, je vais te l'envoyer dans le chat quand tu vas avoir besoin de.
I have a proposal that I'm only realizing now, and this is thanks to the question of Elizabeth. If we have contribution as the same as the meaning in Article 2, then that means a general member who has individually contributed 50 hours or more can then be elected to director. I don't necessarily
as long as some of these hours are in coordination of event, because the requirements here still remains. What was your proposal?
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to make sure that didn't eliminate the idea of serving as in a coordination role, because we had determined previously that was a necessary skill set to bring when you're part of a board. But it's there, so no proposal.
It's there, but like for only few hours. So don't you think we should, by my perspective, we want somebody that have been coordinating for at least 50 hours, not coordinating for like a shift and then like it's not enough just to get like a full vision and access to the board of directors. I feel we need to be more restrictive. So if it was like 50 hours as a coordination role on other members, for me it make more sense.
Okay.
So 50 hours as coordination is a lot.
Yeah, and I think we need it, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's discuss it.
Yeah. Let's do any of the do any of the participants, members of the meeting, have anything to say about this?
I mean, I think I agree with Arno on having at least 50 hours of coordination. I agree with Arno.
Yeah, I think I do too. I mean, it might seem like a lot, but we also really do want people who really know what they're doing by the time they get to the board. And if you haven't done a lot of organization, like the board is even more complicated in terms of legalities and things that you have to know than just running an event. So I think it does make sense to have that number be a little bit higher.
I would also say that those hours add up really freaking quickly.
Yeah.
I don't want to think how much time between Tabernacle, Burn, Orgasm, and everything else. I don't, or I'm going to start crying.
I guess my only reservation about this is not the number of hours, it's the amount of accounting that's necessary to know that that number of hours was reached in an organizational capacity. I certainly haven't been logging my hours, even if they've been substantial. So.
Si je peux suggérer, peut-être au lieu de mettre un chiffre, essayer de quantifier avec un chiffre, peut-être utiliser, genre, être un petit peu moins précis, par exemple, que, mettons, une proportion significative des heures de volontariat, whatever, comment on va appeler ça, là, genre comme soit ait été dans une position de coordination ou quelque chose comme ça. J'essaie juste de lancer des termes là, qui pourraient comme plus dire comme OK, on veut quelqu'un qui a eu de l'expérience pertinente, mais pas nécessairement de commencer à dire OK, là, je sais pas trop, là, d'aller dans des fine print. Là, je sais pas, comme plus mettre une idée derrière la restriction plutôt que de donner le moyen.
Ouais, ou sur la même ordre d'idée, Alex, peut-être ça pourrait être quelque chose comme avant, on avait mis des restrictions, on n'avait pas vraiment mis de restrictions de qui est membre, donc le membership général. Le membership votant, c'est de personnes qui s'impliquent encore plus, mais le membre du board, vu qu'on représente plutôt les événements de l'orgasme, c'est des personnes qui s'impliquent au sein de l'organisation des événements. C'est ça que ça veut dire un peu dans l'organisation d'autres membres. Donc, peut-être à cette même ordre d'idée, là, on a besoin d'être plus précis en termes de signification. C'est là où on met lead, co-lead, volunteer lead, shift lead, de choses un peu comme dans ces choses-là. I don't know what you guys think.
Ben, moi, j'ai l'impression que si on ne trace pas une ligne, si on la nomme pas, elle devient tellement floue puis tellement subjective qu'il n'y a plus de décision qui est facile, qui est prenable. So from that side, I would like to trace something. And even there, like it's really difficult to be, I'm not sure about those 5 hours. I'm not sure about those others. No, it's really something really flexible. So just like trace a line is about like, why? This is our like minimum level of engagement, and that's what we're looking for. And like when we like discussed all those points, we were looking at the best case scenario, at the worst case scenario. So like still tracing a hard line at an eye point is making a lot of sense to me.
I mean, just on the K side here, I'm pretty sure I haven't done 50 hours in the last 2 years. I don't even know how to account for my time. You know, I don't think I would qualify, honestly.
Well, organizing trifecta count?
Wait, you never like coordinate like a team camp?
Yeah. Does that count?
So yeah.
Like probably like hundreds of hours in the last
There you go.
Not. Does that
C'était pas
count?
dans un événement officiel de l'orgasme, c'était pour le burn.
Ooh, pour un burn, it's included.
Black Rock City mostly.
It's included.
That's all. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You guys,
Yeah.
I don't know who the judge of that is, but I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
Yeah.
you know.
So maybe the way through this is that we can, instead of saying that it's the same as Article 2, we just say it's 50 hours in a coordination role of other members. So, and in a coordination role, that means leads, co-leads, camp leads. You're in charge of the running of a thing.
Of members or participants then, because like, you know, I don't know, I'm thinking of trifecta, like not all, like, like maybe that's the question of member is like.
I agree.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and put this as a formal proposal. Can somebody help me rate it?
J'avais une dernière question.
Oui, vas-y Sarah, je vais justement...
Ben, c'était juste un commentaire, en fait. Je me demande si on demande 50 heures de coordination d'événements, ça veut dire que, comme disons, un artiste se qualifierait pas pour être sur le board.
Exactement. Il faut que tu peux, comme artiste, tu peux être un membre, mais si tu veux être administrateur, il faut que tu aies géré des événements avant.
OK. Ben, je me demandais juste si, dans un point de vue aussi de représentation, si c'était trop restrictif de dire on veut juste des coordinateurs sur le board, parce que la mission de l'orgasme, c'est pas juste de coordonner des événements, de ce que j'ai compris, c'est aussi comme pour le futur.
Oui.
Fait que je me demandais si cette description-là était trop restrictive. Mais ça, c'est juste my 2 cents.
Oui, ben, je comprends tout à fait. Je suis pas en désaccord avec toi, Sarah, mais ça me fait réfléchir à c'est quoi le raisonnement d'être du board, et c'est d'assurer le fonctionnement légal et financier de l'orgasme, surtout et avant tout. Donc, les questions de position d'organisation, c'est des personnes avec des compétences qui viennent avec ce type de réflexe-là. Ça ne veut pas dire que des artistes n'ont pas. Il y en a certainement beaucoup qui gèrent leur propre compte, qui doivent contribuer à leur propre vie. Donc, je ne sais pas comment le dire autrement, mais c'est à la recherche de compétences plutôt que
Je comprends. Non, c'est bon. Ouais.
Si je peux me permettre d'ajouter un artiste qui serait dans un rôle de leadership, donc qui coordonnerait une équipe, serait admissible. Fait que, tu sais, je pense que ce qu'on recherche avant tout, c'est pas exactement un coordonnateur X, Y, Z. C'est surtout quelqu'un qui a une nature de leadership puis qui représente peut-être ses pairs ou son groupe. Fait que l'artiste n'est pas éliminé. C'est juste qu'il faut qu'il soit dans une position de coordination d'équipe. Puis là, il représente un leadership qui est pertinent pour l'orgasme.
Je pense, par exemple, à l'excellent exemple de Jodie, qui est une excellente artiste. You are an excellent artist, but also have been coordinating this for how many years? Donc, au moins, there's a reason why she's had a seat on the board for so many years.
Yep.
If it's a question of competencies, then do we want to broaden those competencies to say to include something about experience in the financial and legal running of a company, organization, whatever, like because we don't necessarily there's like coordination competencies, and there's also competencies of understanding of what it is to run and be a part of a board. So I'm wondering, I'm wondering how to phrase it.
For me, it's named a board, so like it's self-evident that it is an administrative like role. So I don't see the needs to add it, like it's coming from. I don't know.
I also think that as it might, I think that might cause people to possibly not want to be part on the board, where they might not have had that background, and that they've done specifically fantastic jobs in the last few years. I'm thinking of Camille, who has no experience in finance and done a fantastic job in the last few years. So yes, she's an awesome lawyer too, but there's, I don't know.
Not your lawyer.
Ah?
Not your lawyer.
But I think, anyways, I think that maybe keeping it to the idea of at least putting reference to a significant portion. I'm comfortable with Alex Marie's reference to a significant portion of the 50 hours, or making reference to 50 hours in leadership, co-leadership, managing of people, however you want to go. I think both of those would, in my personal opinion, humble opinion, work for what we're trying to do.
So I just got to say, I kind of agree with Arnaud that saying a significant portion is a really slippery slope, because what that means to me versus somebody else could be completely different. Maybe a middle ground of saying, you need 50 hours of contributions to events, 20 hours, 25 hours, which are in a leadership role of coordinating people, something along those lines. So it doesn't have to be the full 50 hours, but it's something. Because I just worry about saying a significant amount. Well, for them, if it's 5 hours, it's significant, and for somebody else, it's 50. I'm not saying somebody's going to say 5 hours, but they could well put it away.
Yeah.
Considering all these different ideas, Kemi, I don't know if you've been taking notes for this, but do you have a proposal for a write-up so we can have like a visual of what that could be?
I do not have that yet, because there are many different things floating about. In terms of the idea, we have two ideas. There is one that is 50 hours in coordination role. And then there is the idea of a significant portion, like for example, for 25 hours or half of it, or a certain number of hours. So there's, well, actually 3 proposals. There's 50 hours in coordination role. 50 hours in coordination role, significant part of it being coordination, and 25 hours being coordination.
So those 3 sound like...
I know, maybe we could vote first on the idea and then settle on writing.
Yeah, I was actually going to propose the opposite. I was going to propose to put those 3 ideas up for people to vote on which of those 3 ideas makes the most sense, and then to a motion to pass the whole thing.
Yes. However, I don't want to write 3 different phrasings without knowing what you guys want. So
what about we vote on those 3 propositions, and then we vote again on the phrasing of said proposition?
Yeah, and then we vote on the whole thing. So that's 3 different votes.
Let's do it.
I see hands up. Do I see Alexandre Marie with a hand up?
OK.
Ouais, en fait, c'est plus considérant que quand même la candidature, en fait, si on parle de candidature, là, on ne parle pas comme nécessairement que la personne elle va devenir directeur, un truc. Il faut quand même qu'elle soit votée dans une AGA par les membres. Donc, toute l'histoire de dire « Ah, ça serait trop facile de bypasser les conditions », ben, tout de même, ça reste quand même que le directeur va se faire élire dans une élection générale par les membres qui, je pense, ont assez de jugement pour évaluer la candidature de la personne, à savoir si ça sera un bon administrateur, puis un truc comme ça. Puis, je fais juste dire, comme, pour les gens qui se sont inquiétés d'avoir des il y a quand même un processus démocratique qu'on a établi ou révisé il y a à peu près une demi-heure. Fait que, je dis, c'est pas juste un rubber stamp. OK, moi, je veux être directeur des finances, puis là, bang, oh, voilà, il l'est, là. Ça marche, ça fonctionne pas comme ça. Si quelqu'un veut devenir directeur des finances parce que l'autre directeur, il a sacré son camp ou il est mort du COVID, ben, il faut leur
je suis encore en vie.
Donc, c'est pas juste, il peut avoir un truc en intérim ou un chose comme ça, mais la candidature va être votée. Donc, moi, je trouve que de juste arriver et dire comme ben là, lui, laisse faire parce que genre, t'as comme pas 50 heures cloquées quelque part avec une autre affaire de je sais pas trop quoi. Tu peux avoir quelqu'un qui est complètement néophyte, qui vient d'arriver dans la communauté, mais qui serait un super bon addition, puis qui est quand même connu par plusieurs membres. Puis je vois pas pourquoi on se restreindrait genre par rapport à non, OK, blablabla. Puis là, mais en plus, selon la définition textuelle qu'on a en ce moment, il faut que ce soit un événement de l'orgasme. Fait que là, à ce moment-là, le burn n'en fait pas partie. C'est un peu ridicule, mais le burn ne fait pas partie des événements de l'orgasme. Fait que, si tu as genre.
Organise ton team camp à Burning Man, ça compte pas.
Ouais, non, mais je veux dire, Mario Goodell arriverait, là, ne pourrait pas faire partie de la
justement, en parlant d'elle.
Bon, pas que j'avouerais, là, mais je veux dire, c'est juste un exemple un peu drôle, là, genre, mais c'est ça. Fait que je fais juste dire que mon idée, c'est que ça reste quand même. C'est pas juste une finalité, parce que tu as ça, ben voilà, tu peux l'avoir, puis ça finit là. Genre, il y a comme d'autres stop gates qu'on met, genre, en général, qui est comme, ben, OK, il va y avoir des votes, les candidatures, les gens vont évaluer, puis après ça, les pédigris des gens vont être comme peut-être un peu plus vus. On va le voir dans l'élection tantôt, ben OK, qu'est-ce que tu as fait, c'est quoi, comment tu un truc, pourquoi tu trouverais que c'est un bon rôle, puis on en vote là-dessus. Je trouve que
si je peux juste poigner la parole, il y a deux affaires dans ce que tu nommes là, qui, moi, ma compréhension d'un general membership actuellement, c'est quelqu'un qui a participé à Burning Man, un événement officiel de Burning Man ou non officiel. Fait quelqu'un qui a leadé un camp à Burning Man, mettons, dans ce qu'on se proposerait de rôle de leadership, ben, il serait admissible. Fait que je sais pas, Camille, tu as l'air de dire juste que tu n'es pas d'accord?
J'essayais d'écrire les propositions en même temps. Il ne faut pas considérer tout ce que ma face dit comme une réaction.
Même chose. Pour moi, quelqu'un qui a contribué 50 heures qui a fait une contribution significative pour un membre de l'orgasme. Un membre de l'orgasme, c'est n'importe qui a participé à un événement de Burning Man, officiel ou non. On est d'accord? So, a team camp lead il est admissible, right?
Oui et non. Oui et non. C'est que pour être. Non, c'est exactement ça. C'est la définition entre un membre de l'orgasme qui est non votant. C'est quelqu'un qui a été. Je les dirais devant moi. Où est-ce que c'était? Comment? C'est n'importe qui a été à Burning Man ou à un événement officiel de l'orgasme. Les membres votants sont justement les gens qui ont participé et contribué de manière significative au fonctionnement de l'orgasme ou à un des événements de l'orgasme.
Parfait.
Alors, technique, c'est ça, c'est que il faut quand même avoir un 50 heures. Si quelqu'un est theme camp lead, excusez-moi, TCO pour Burning Man, ma compréhension des règlements présentement, tant et aussi longtemps qu'il y a quand même un 20 heures qui est donné pour les événements locaux, oui, la contribution de leadership de Burning Man pourrait appliquer. Peut-être que je me trompe.
C'est la façon que les bylaws sont écrits actuellement.
Ben, definition of member.
Point 3 de l'article 5, c'est qu'il faut que ce soit des événements de l'orgasme.
Je suis tellement mêlé dans ces bylaws.
Point 3 ou point 2 que tu parles?
Ouais.
3. To be eligible as an elected director, a candidate must have contributed a minimum of 50 hours to the running of the orgasm or to orgasm events. Fait que ça inclut pas Burning Man.
Do we want to include Burning Man?
Yeah, well, so
It's
this is the nature of the as I understand the nature of the discussion that we're having right now is that we want it to be people who are contributing to the local community, who have significantly contributed, and who are bringing with them certain competencies. So for me, it's very clear that if you helped run the orgasm or you helped run orgasm events, you have those competencies. Do we want to include people who haven't run orgasm events, who have those competencies that have been in leadership roles is the question. And then how we divide up those hours. So maybe the question here is 50 hours to the running of the orgasm events, or in a leadership role for.
We could include all official Burning Man events.
For in the running of orgasm events, or leadership role in official Burning Man events. Is that what you said?
Okay, so let me just say one thing about that. If you include, and I'm gonna take Toronto for example, just because it's the closest. If, for example, somebody has coordinated what's the name of the one that just did not happen? Brenda, help me please. Hyperborea. If somebody is a coordinator is on the board of Hyperborea and they've done 50 hours for Hyperborea, then what does it take for them to do in the Montreal community before they become a board member in Montreal? This is my question to you. Like
20 hours in the orgasm, 20 hours in either it comes back to the definition of a voting member.
Okay, yeah.
So
because
you still have to have a participation or not even a participation, pardon me, a contribution of 20 hours.
Then I think we need to specify 10. That's one thing I didn't catch before. If you go at the requirement for all directors, when it says directors must be member of the orgasm, then I think it should say voting members from now on. It's one I didn't catch. So it should,
Great.
That would, okay. So, okay, I think I will get there.
And the wording,
You're amazing, Kimmy.
The wording could be in a sanctioned Burning Man event.
Yeah,
so it has to be an official event or a non-official event?
So Alexandre Marie suggests be a voting member. That the criteria be that you be a voting member, that you have 50 hours in a role of leadership in a Burning Man event. So that would mean an official event because it's Burning Man or Orgasme. And voting members require 20 hours of leadership in local events anyway.
Ouais, c'est ça.
And so that leaves the
étant
other.
Un membre votant, ben, ça implique que la personne est impliquée dans la communauté locale. En fait,
Oui,
ça serait juste
exactement.
d'être dans la capacité de pouvoir voter. Parce qu'en ce moment, il n'a pas cette restriction-là, si je ne me trompe pas.
Ben, on référait à members, but not voting members.
Ouais.
Ouais, c'est ça. Moi, je mettrais voting members. Fait que si tu veux devenir directeur, il faut que tu sois un membre votant. Donc, ça implique que tu es déjà impliqué, entre guillemets. Je sais pas, ça serait ma suggestion, là, genre de le worder à peu près comme ça. Là. Il y a peut-être des virgules à mettre en place puis des participes passés à arranger, là, mais...
je pense que tu as mis ton doigt là-dessus, Alexandre, de pourquoi ça bug. Et c'est parce que ça a été comme tous les membres, mais c'est pas ça qu'on veut. C'est qu'on veut comme que ce soit des gens qui sont déjà impliqués au sein de l'organisme. Donc,
moi, je suis juste une parenthèse là-dessus. Je suis pas sûr sur. On pourrait juste réduire ton deuxième point, Av. 50 hours in a role of leadership of admissible members of the orgasm. Ça rendrait la chose plus ouverte. Puis si on modifie nos règlements par rapport aux membres, ça suivrait la logique. I mean, right now, we are like and like the general membership, anyone who has participated in the Burning Man official or unofficial events. Fait que pour moi, si tu as un rôle de leadership, ben, il pourrait avoir participé à un événement chapeauté par l'orgasme, mais qui est non officiel, right?
Ben, il n'est pas officiel s'il n'est pas chapeauté.
Non, il peut l'être.
Il peut être chapeauté par l'orgasme, mais pas être officiel?
Oui.
S'il est chapeauté par l'orgasme chapeaute pas.
Non, en ce moment, ça peut pas. Ça, c'est une autre discussion. I'm going to table that piece for another time. The answer is no. The only events that the Organism supports currently are official events. But we will come back to that point because it's a very important one, just not right now. So if I understand, to resume, if I understand correctly, the question of it being voting members who can become board members actually seems to solve the issue that we've been talking about now, because those are voting members. You have to have given 20 hours to the organization of things and being in a coordination role of leading other members, of volunteering, etc. And what we're asking for a board member is more implication. We're just asking more time. You didn't just give 20 hours, you gave 50 hours. And all the likeliness is that if you gave 50 hours, you probably gave 5 times that. So I'm not sure if you all agree with that proposition. It's just that the change that we would be proposing then is that to be a member of the board of directors, you have to have had the requirements of being a vote, or to have been a voting member, achieve the requirements of a voting member, but given more time.
Agree.
I'm trying to catch the proposal that we're going for right now.
Yeah.
To be eligible as an elected director, a candidate must be a voting member, have contributed a minimum of 50 hours, but that's is it right now 50 hours in coordination, or like is it, so the proposal is what was written in a role of leadership in a Burning Man event, or so what am I writing here? That's
my proposal is that it stays as is, so it's 50 hours. It's 50 hours, but but they have to have been a voting member. So voting members means that they were in a coordination.
What about the coordination? Did that all go away in the end? How many
I'm
hours?
very confused now.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, because the previous idea was directors must be a member of the Organism who have served in a coordination role of other members, right?
Yeah.
What we can do is just simply add directors must be voting members of the Organism who have served in a coordination role of other members for a minimum of 50 hours.
At Burning Man events or just Organism events?
And not other members, but other participants, because
good call.
How many are we?
Merci, Maud.
So have contributed a minimum of 50 hours in a coordinating participants
of events.
Of Burning Man events.
Burning Man. Can we say official or unofficial?
That's what we did with the definition of member. So I think we should just use the same phrasing.
I think that would help. I think same everywhere helps.
Yeah.
And then I will share my screen, and please don't.
Yeah. 1 second, Alex. I'm just going to come to a question from Luis, who asked, did we already vote that? A member is not a voting one. The answer, Luis, is yes. That was the first thing we talked about in the meeting, is that there are 2 tiers of members. There are members of the Organism, who can be anybody who's participated in the local events or in the last 5 years. And voting members are people who've given a significant contribution of 20 hours in helping run the events or volunteering for the events. Oui, Alex.
Ouais, Arnaud, par rapport à ce que tu as dit, dans le fond, c'est vrai que ça ferait du sens d'utiliser le terme membre pour définir genre le rôle de leadership. Mais le problème, c'est que ce n'est pas nécessairement tous les participants qui sont des membres.
Non, je comprends.
Si tu piggybacks sur la définition de membre, ça implique qu'il faut que les personnes soient membres pour que tu puisses dire que tu as été leur comme lead. C'est un peu... en tout cas, c'est con, là, mais moi, c'est le même que je le vois, là, genre, comme mon niveau.
C'est pour ça qu'on l'a changé vers participant, je pense,
Ouais,
entre la proposition.
Arnaud, il reproposait d'utiliser membre parce que la définition de membre était quand même claire.
Pour moi, dans ce qu'on a choisi, quand on a choisi au vote 1, ça impliquait les official et non-official. Je pense que tout le monde n'était pas d'accord autour de la table, mais pour moi, c'est ce qu'on a voté tantôt. Là. Fait que, participants of official or non-official, c'est ça nos membres. Fait que la participation.
Ça, c'est les membres généraux. Pour les membres votants, il faut que tu aies participé aux événements locaux.
C'est ça, exact. D'accord.
So, for administrators, is it 50 hours coordinating in local events or can it be at the Big Burn? That's the question. People right now are saying at the Big Burn is included. I'm in favor of that.
Check juste le wording, là, genre, mais juste au lieu de membre, mais member eligible.
C'est ça.
Ça règle mon affaire. Là. Genre, c'est juste ça.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna send in the chat what I had written, but and then you can. So as.
Je mets un soundtrack.
Un soundtrack à quoi?
No.
So the proposal right now is in yellow in the middle. Everything that's stricken is, of course, not good, but the proposal right now is to be eligible as an elected director, a candidate must be a voting member, have contributed a minimum of 50 hours, coordinating, I think there's an in too much. Also, and then there's a question of Alexandre Marie, do we want to coordinating eligible members? So that would be eligible general members.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
No, because we are not referring what the unofficial events there. Unofficial events is any events. So we need just to point it out that it is an eligible member of the orgasm, and then we can just precise what is an eligible member. That's what we did. But if we do like this, it can be any event we are like producing on the planet.
Huh?
No? Like,
Excuse, peut-être que c'est que j'ai pas assez de café, mais je te comprends pas.
I think it's simpler if we state it clearly in the text rather than refer to some other definition.
But what is a Burning Man unofficial event?
That goes back to contre marché noir, rites of passage, if there's a virtual burn that is not an official burn.
So then event presented or just hosted by the orgasm. We need to define what is unofficial events by my point of view.
So maybe in that it would be or in Burning Man official or local. You're talking about local events. Oui, Arnaud?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I'm gonna take raise of voice. I'm gonna take raise of hands. Okay, we're not just gonna for fun. We're gonna because there's a number of things here that people don't agree on. The first is, should contribution organizing members at Burning Man count?
Okay.
If so, raise your hand.
Please raise your hand, but like in Zoom. Otherwise, it's difficult to see all of you.
Okay, so I was mostly meaning like, yeah, raising like that. Like, so I think that most people here agree that organizing people at Burning Man, like at the Big Burn, is good enough to get you becoming an administrators. If we limit it to events organized by the org, by us, I'm pretty sure I can tell you that Burning Man is not organized by us. So if we limit it to events organized by our organization, we are definitely excluding Burning Man. So that was the thing I wanted to check, because we can continue back and forth. I think I lost Arnaud. The chair is empty. I think he can hear me through Sarah, maybe. So
one thing we could do is exclude unofficial events, because then we don't need to make the value judgment of what counts as an unofficial Burning Man event. And it's whatever Burning Man judges as official is what we judge as qualifying.
okay, but that means that the day that Lusted Burn decides not to be an official event anymore, then Lusted Burn doesn't count anymore.
Yes.
Okay. I kind of want Arnaud to know that.
Could we put it in as like Burning Man official and related events? Something like Lusted Burn, if it became an unofficial event, but it's still related to Burning Man versus,
Okay.
you know, I'm throwing a big party for my friends.
So either official Burning Man events or events organized by the org.
Yeah.
Okay. So have contributed. So I'm going to share. Okay, I'm going to make the change and then share, because otherwise my computer lags. Have contributed minimum of 50 hours participating, coordinating participants of Burning Man official events or orgasm events. Okay. And then we bring this part back, copy, paste, and maybe we should bring that in. Oh, I just had another idea, but I'm gonna wait because we have too many things going on. You have right now, for people that don't know me, a direct view into my brain. This is how my brain works.
Actually, your screen is not shared at the moment.
No, I know. I specifically did not share my screen because you get the ramblings. The ramblings are how my brain works. If I share my screen, then my computer crashes most of the time if I start doing changes. So I think now you can see it. So this would be the new one in yellow. Contributed minimum 50 hours coordinating participants. That would be at Burning Man official events or at, because somebody with good English like Glenn tell me that my what I did wrong. I obviously did something wrong with that sentence. It's the at. The at is definitely, it's the wrong preposition, I'm pretty sure, but I can't figure out which one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You just need that second at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or orgasm events, and you're good to go.
Oh, and or.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Good call.
Thank you. Okay, so that's good?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make a proposal that the definition of orgasm event be moved out of this article and into the general definitions section so that we don't have to repeat it every time. Would that be something that you guys be interested in for simplicity reason?
Sure.
Sure.
I second the proposal.
Because otherwise we are repeating it all the time. So this is what we're good. Okay. So eventually we're going to have a vote on this. But while I have your attention, right now I have another issue to bring up to you.
We love her.
You're not.
To be eligible as an elected director, a candidate must, and then we have set up requirements. This means that we are going to remove the part where we're going to put requirements for all directors because we've put it up there. Right? So this is going to become format, text, strike through. This will be because we've already put it up. However, we now need to specify requirements for recurring events. People that are named by events, do we have any requirements for them? Like they should be voting members, definitely. Should they have served in a coordination role too? Or is that up to the events?
When we spoke about this in our preparatory meeting, we said that we would leave that choice up to the events to who is best suited at that time to be a representative.
Yeah.
Okay. So but however, it's required that they are voting members, right?
By definition, yes, because if they're on the board, they're going to be of the various events, they will have certainly put in the 20 hours or will be putting the 20 hours.
Okay. So these so the proposal I'm changing, these directors must be voting members. They are elected by their respective events. Arnaud, how are you feeling on this?
I'm good with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this part and I'm gonna write you I'm gonna stop sharing for a second and I'm gonna send everybody a formal proposal that covers everything. I think we have covered all of the issues.
It took a little while to get through. Thank you for your patience, everybody, and for your input.
Bon, c'est l'heure de donner la parole à des gens dans l'assistance. Eric?
Eric, as-tu quelque chose que tu voulais dire?
T'as pas de micro?
Ouais, je sais, je suis nouveau à ça. Non, j'avais rien. C'est intéressant de se mettre sur le spot en ce moment.
C'est Arnaud qui t'a choisi, qui t'a élu pour parler, donc?
Ouais, probablement.
Okay, so another 30 seconds.
Correct, qui je m'en vedette?
Mets de la musique, mets de la musique.
All right. D'abord, on va dire Alex Marie quelque part ici.
Mets la toune de Blade!
Mets la toune de Blade.
Are you guys okay with the proposal being only in English? I don't have time to make a bilingual proposal.
Yes.
Okay, it's almost done. Okay, so I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna leave only what we. I'm gonna leave only what we agreed on, and I'm gonna put it both on the screen and in the chat. I'm not sure what the chat version will look like.
Derrière de mon verre de vin, c'est un peu loin.
Okay, so here's the thing. Oh no, apparently it's way too big. Okay, so it's gonna be a shared screen because it's way too big. Okay, so I want this one. Okay, so the first thing is that the part where we define orgasm event is added to definition, and I'm gonna add and removed also from members definition. That way it will be clean, everything in the same place. So appointment of directors, we didn't change this. The number 2, we voted it before in the special meeting. Number 3 is what we just agreed on. So voting member, 50 hours coordinating participants at Burning Man official events or our events. Then everything else is what Asha has explained. We have not made change regarding this. However, we made a change regarding representative current events. We now add that they must be voting members. That means that and then finally, all directors are not paid any remuneration. That is okay for everybody. So Anybody, I'm going to try and put the entire proposal on the screen at the same time. Okay. Anybody has comments or modifications requests?
I propose we move it to a vote.
Okay, I'm going to leave this on while people vote.
Arnaud, as-tu assez, est-ce que tu as ça qu'il faut pour mettre ça dans le vote?
I think that the only thing he's going to say is proposal as modified.
Proposition as modified.
Yes. If somebody wants to make an amendment, it's now. You can't make it once we vote.
Okay. The voting platform is ready. Are you? It's
For the damn proposition as modified. Yes, sir. Sorry, this is a secret vote in which I say my answer out loud.
Time's up. Bon. So, c'est tout. C'est approuvé à 100%. 100% for. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So 16% for, nobody against. Done deal.
So lovely. Amazing. I'm gonna before we move on, because it's going to be a presentation of our reports and activities, and after that we'll talk about auditors and election. I'm going to propose that we take a 5-minute pause so that people do the things that people need to do, and that will on se reprend à 20h10, donc un petit pause de 5 minutes avant de continuer.
Great. And we've done the hardest part of the meeting. This was so hard, guys. I know.
Yay! So we'll see you all again in about 5 minutes. Stop looking at your screens. Go do something else.
I'm going to put you on cat cam until it's over.
Yeah.
Bon. Kirsten, ouais. Est-ce quelqu'un qui veut faire un show?
Well, yeah, she was licking her ass. That would be good. It's just funny. She's just like, she's funny. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Things are going further. That's cool. Guy. En vedette. Guy, t'es parti? Bon.
There he is.
Bon, enfin. Bon. Bon. Moi aussi, j'ai un casque 4+ qui rentre au chalet. Ben, j'ai l'écho énergétique. 2 chauffe-eau!
Pas 1, 2.
2! Il doit faire des pots d'hydroponie, si vous voulez.
Ah ouais, puis le 10 vitesses qui va aller rejoindre Pierre. Fait que, ouais, c'est ça.
10 vitesses avec des poignées roses.
Ouais, mais ça, c'est automatique. Là. C'est pas... Ça vient avec ça. Mais...
10 vitesses automatique, bingo. Automatique, je veux ça. François, comment va ton intronisation au monde administratif?
Je veux dire, j'apprends le vocabulaire, là. C'est bon, là, vous allez à une vitesse que je ne peux pas suivre, là, mais ça rentre.
En fait pas, je suis pas pantoute moi non plus, j'étais là toute l'année.
Ah ouais, mais travailler pour un Crown Corporation comme VIA, c'est sûr que c'est pas habitué.
Hey.
Dom Perrault, t'es où?
Tu travailles pour Via Rail?
Je travaillais pour Via Rail.
Ah, parce que moi, je suis dans une maison qui fait compétition.
Ah ouais?
Ça veut dire quoi, ça, une maison qui fait compétition?
Je suis une maison CN.
Ah! C'est pas la compétition, c'est notre hôte.
Ah, OK.
J'ai vu Dom Perrault.
Allô?
Allô, Manoir!
Hey, je suis contente de tout voir vos petites faces. C'est bien maintenant.
Il fait soleil que d'habitude.
Je suis dans l'auto, là. Je suis ça dans l'auto. Je vous dirai pas pourquoi je suis dans l'auto, c'est un peu gênant, là. On est allé acheter des figurines de Skylander.
T'es avec ton homme? Les enfants, pour les enfants, pour l'homme?
Pour l'enfant, là, on lui a dit, si on te fait couper les cheveux, les fées vont te donner des Skylander. C'était mon idée.
C'était buddies, ça. Ah, hop.
Fait que c'est ça.
Comment va les dans le Nord?
Ouais, c'est le gel. Tu sais, je pensais que j'allais avoir chaud un jour, il fait encore froid.
Mais t'as encore ta tuque!
Mais on gèle, il fait juste 9. C'est comme l'hiver.
C'est les hipster toques, là.
Oh, Arnaud
Non.
aussi, sa tuque.
On gèle le sac, puis là, les cocombes sont même pas capables de pousser. Ah, il est beau! J'ai hâte qu'il y ait des tuques là, pour que je puisse en avoir une spéciale.
Une spéciale?
Ah, c'est notre prochain merch.
Yeah! Je vous aime!
On t'en prend une tuque qui descend et qui couvre ton visage aussi. Hein.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Les cagoules reviennent dans la mode avec le COVID.
Ouais, c'est ça. Ça a l'air que tu rentres dans une banque avec ça, tu as un super bon service.
Ah, c'est top.
J'ai jamais vu une manifestation se faire dire porter des masques. Moi, ça fait partie des grandes avancées de 2020. On s'est fait dire qu'on pouvait porter des masques dans les manifestations. Merci, bonsoir.
Pas pouvait, devait porter des
Oui,
masques.
c'est vrai. Non, mais ça, c'est...
Ben, moi, je te dirais que la fois dans un parc où j'ai sorti mon masque à gaz, là, le policier, il m'aimait moins, mettons. C'est un masque. Non, on n'a pas défini c'était quoi la définition de masque, là. Fait que c'est ça.
Il trouvait pas que tu étais charmant avec ton masque à gaz?
Moi, juste à regarder croche.
OK.
Ouais,
Mon coloc...
C'est pas dans une manif, je tiens à mentionner. Là. Ça a été un autre...
Ben ouais, c'est no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service.
Toi, est-ce que Sarah est dans une autre pièce, dans la même maison? Hein?
Ben oui, Jack Labin. Monte tes boules!
Comment? Hey!
J'ai vu Pierrot hier, il voulait être là, mais dans le rush.
L'ennui de lui.
Il m'a donné de la lavande, des petites fleurs, du romarin.
Non, pourquoi il va pas, une autre aussi?
Du aftermint, c'est du menthe au chocolat. Apparemment, quand je vais cueillir mes petites menthes, ça va goûter le chocolat.
On est honte.
Ouais. Sarah travaille demain, qu'elle dit.
All right, on y va, là.
Damn!
Okay.
You're right. Okay.
Okay, we ready?
I think so.
Think so? Okay, so next point on the agenda.
No.
Sera animé par Glenn.
Hello.
Glenn is going to show us the activities report from 2019.
All right. Do we need to show this on the screen, or I'm just pointing people to it? We're
It'd
not
be great if you
voting
could
on
share
it.
your screen so we can see what you're looking at.
Do you
I
want
could
somebody
do
else
that.
to share the screen with the document? Or?
If you wanna, saves me having to figure out how. But I wouldn't.
Can somebody not me do that so I can
Okay.
take
Let's
notes?
see.
Do that. I think.
I don't know if I can. Oh, share screen. Okay, there we go.
Spoiler alert, we actually had events last year.
How's that?
Spoiler alert, 2019 was not
that
2020.
work?
That was last year, like 5 years.
So is that shared? Is that working?
Yes. So
Okay.
we see the entirety of your screen right now.
Oh, okay, awesome. Anyway, don't try to read all this right now. It's several pages long. But this is on the MontrealBurners.com site. You can find it there under activity reports. And you can read it there. Now we're required as a nonprofit, if I'm not mistaken, to produce a list of a statement of our activities every year. Fortunately, in 2019, we had a pretty good year. We had 2 major events, both of them official Burning Man events, and both of them were amazing successes. And so this is this report is our opportunity to crow about our successes and call attention to the amazing things our members and the event boards managed to create. So it includes a report on Tabernacle. Now, every year, of course, Lucky and I are required to produce reports to Burning Man as regional contacts. We produce a report on the official events. So that forms the basis, really, of this activity report. But this is a little more fleshed out. We include all the some of the numbers, such as the ticket costs and how many people participated, and we then also include what sort of events they were, what kind of art was presented, what performances, and then we have lists of participating artists, a map of Lusted Burn, and so on. And so this is partly based on our reports to the burn, and then kind of expands on those. And this is presented, of course, in both official orgasm languages. Forget who did the translation here. Was that Lucky, or was that?
It's the Tabernacle team who did that.
Okay. That's right, because only one of them appears here. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much for the translation. And Camille put it together as a layout and designed it and made it all pretty and official looking in purple and green, and added some very lovely photographs of Lusty Burn and Tabernacle. Now, if you see anything in there that is totally wrong and needs to be changed, I guess you need to tell.
That's now.
That's too late. It's too late. Too bad. No, I suppose you could call that to Camille's attention. She might be able to change it. Hopefully nothing is terribly wrong there. And if you have any questions about that, we can open that up to questions.
Could you elaborate on the number of participants for each event and the pricing?
If you would like me to. Let me see here. So for Tabernacle, where is that? Right.
It should be in the beginning of the purple.
Yeah. We had 650 participants this year at Tabernacle, which is up by 100 people from 2017. And the tickets started off with 50 tickets at $20. The next 75 tickets were at $25. Then 355 tickets were sold at $30 each. And then we had 50 last minute tickets sold for $40 each. Some of our artists, 22 artists received $20 tickets. And finally, we sold 120 tickets at the door for $30 each.
Special shout out to Alex, who made us money at the door.
Now, Lusty Burn, we had 350 adult participants and 18 kids under 14. Again, up from 250 adults and 13 children previous year. Adult ticket price was $75, adolescents $50, and children's tickets were free. And that was also the first time the event sold out completely. So I think that covers your question there. Any other questions on this?
Not a question, but I just want to say thank you for putting this together, and for everybody who's here or listening, external, who's not physically present. This is a really great way to see the breadth of the things that were offered by all the participants during the museum. So you get a little bit of a window into what all the different people who organized and volunteered their time to make the event happen, as well as the people who brought art in that received art grants and all that kind of stuff. And it's a really great way to revisit the events dans son ensemble. So please take some time to look over the reports. It's not all boring stuff. It's really exciting and amazing stuff. And personally, I find it very stimulating and a way to look forward to ways of seeing what can come in the next year.
One more thing is that last year was very special for Tabernacle because it was the first time that it was organized in this new way where it was more community contributions rather than team organizing it. And so I think it brought on a lot of art or at least a lot of community initiatives. And I think we saw the same with Lusted Burn with unprecedented amount of art grants.
Fantastic. If there's no comments or questions, we'll move on to our next point, which is 2 different points, both from Caro.
Actually, can we adopt it formally before we go on?
Oh, excuse-moi, j'avais complètement oublié.
I forgot. Yeah, I think it's better to do it one by one than
Oui, c'est ma faute, pardon.
If nobody asks for the vote, we can just adopt it by consent. We don't need a formal vote.
The activities report?
Yeah. Okay, anybody has an opposition? No, everybody consents? Good, next, go ahead. That was quick.
Short and sweet.
That was dizzying, yeah. Okay, Caro, we'll do them one at a time. Sorry, it's my fault. Will present to us le rapport annuel de recettes et dépenses, so the report of revenue and expenses. Caro, you have 5 minutes for this, and then we'll take 5 minutes for the financial statements.
Okay, thank you very much. Now that I'm no longer cataplegic, it will most likely help. Desktop. Okay, so I just wanted to go over, if I can open this. Sorry, too many screens, so I have difficulty seeing it. Okay, so this document is, of course, available for the people who, first introduction, I've taken over, I was named as treasurer last year, following last year's General Assembly. So partly this documentation was done with Kemi as well, since she was the one who was responsible for the treasure. And so Kemi was fantastic in helping me figure out how y'all worked. And so this is the overall revenues and expenses for 2019. Oops, sorry. First and foremost, an overview. So with all of the ticket sales from Tabernacle 9 came to 27,000, and of course from Lusty Burn, $27,711. Also a caveat that I'm going to do a brief overview at this point. If anyone has any questions, I'm always available, and of course you can always ask them in the chat box. So overall expenses came up to about $52,000. 51 of those were from the various events, and there is an overhead of about 663, of which you can see there. See, next page. So this is a bit more of a breakdown of the next 2 pages are the breakdowns per event. So as you can see here on top the breakdown of not only the income from the ticket sales, but also last year for Tabernacle, because we were responsible for the bar, also the sales from the bar. And of course, a breakdown of all of the expenses for the event in question. Total amount of art grants, for example, that were given was $743.98. And you can see the various expenses. For Lusty Burn, same situation. The same number as in the first page, 27,000 in revenues and expenses of 28, of which the biggest was, of course, the art grants, of which it was $8,441.26, which was a fairly large increase from I think the first year.
I think the best one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So those are the, as I said, a very brief percent with all of the expenses, for each event. Are there any questions at this point in time? Anything that people wanted to know more in detail? No? Okay. Here we go.
On a vu ton jeu de patience, Manoir.
Hey!
That's what I was thinking too.
The next is just an overview, and we're going to discuss it more in the official financial statements, but of course here is just an overview more of accounts receivable at the end of the fiscal year, which was 31st of December 2019, and of course of the debts. Because these were at the end of the 31st of December, I'm very happy to say that most of these have been taken care of between then and now. However, it gives a various of the things that the Orgasm that we still owed to money, or money that was owed to us. So yes, brief overview. Is there anything else that people wanted to ask questions about?
Moi, j'ai un commentaire. Le
Decossi.
Adopte ton chemin, y a-t-il vraiment juste 2 personnes qui ont fait des Adopte ton chemin? Ou,
oui.
Je pose la question à la personne qui gère le Lusty Burn.
Oui.
C'est fair.
Non, mais je suis curieuse parce que je browse puis je vois juste 90$. Puis moi, je sais qu'on en a eu un. Tu sais, comme Fisa en a eu un. Puis je me dis à 90$, ça veut dire qu'il y a juste eu 2 grants. Là, genre, fait que je me demandais, genre, c'est qui l'autre?
Je ne gère pas les finances de Lusty Burn. C'est un dossier que je ne connais pas. Mais ce que j'ai su, c'est qu'il y a des Adopt a Road qui avaient été soumis, qui n'ont pas réclamé ou qui ne se sont pas réalisés.
Ah, OK.
Ce serait Fanny qui répondrait à cette question-là. Okay. Moi, ce que je sais, c'est qu'il y a eu des scratchs sur la liste des gens qui l'ont fait. Peut-être qu'il faut mettre plus d'énergie pour illuminer le sentier. Peut-être qu'on va mettre des robots un peu partout. Douane. Peut-être que Val serait.
Je sais que pour Adopte ton chemin, j'avais eu $90 moi de grant pour celui que j'avais fait. Donc ça me semble bizarre qu'il n'y ait eu que ça.
Oh, fait que Happy, c'est ta question!
C'était quoi la question?
Parce que Happy est en ligne.
Oui, Happy est là. Happy, je le vois.
Ah, c'est parce que les bourses d'or Adopte ton chemin, c'est dans les trucs financiers, il est écrit 90 $, mais moi, je ne me rappelle plus combien qu'on a eu dans notre camp pour ça, mais comme c'était à peu près ce montant-là, fait que je me dis, y a-tu juste nous autres qui en a eu une? T'sais? Fait que là, c'était ça ma question, en fait. Puis là,
Ben, en fait, Alex, si tu veux regarder dans la Afterburn Report, c'est là il va avoir listé tous les artistes et groupes qui ont reçu de bourses. Ça ne serait pas dans ce document-ci.
Mais de mémoire, ayant travaillé quand même pas mal sur les bourses de 2000, le Silver, de mémoire, là, il n'y en avait seulement qu'une, mais en même temps, c'est aussi comment que je sais qu'il y avait une question que comment que Fanny avait classé les bourses. Okay. Alors, ça, je ne sais pas.
Je sais qu'il y en a qui sont passés dans des last-minute grants.
Oui, il y a ça aussi.
Pas pour les chemins. Si je peux me permettre, je pense juste que c'est une année où on est en train de modéliser les appels de bourse. Il y avait du nouveau leadership. Parce que c'est vraiment politicien de dire ça. Il y avait bien des shit qu'on est en train de transitionner. Fait que je pense qu'il y a peut-être des postes de dépenses qui n'ont pas été inscrits nécessairement en bonne place. On n'avait pas un bon protocole. C'est clairement dans le post-mortem de la petite burn. Il y a eu beaucoup de bourses qui ont été octroyées. Est-ce qu'ils ont été mis dans des bourses d'or ou des bourses de chemin ou des bourses de team camp? Tu sais, je peux pas dire. Là, je pense que en bout de ligne, ce qu'on sait, c'est que les participants ont reçu un montant. Ça, je pense qu'on peut ne pas se tromper en se disant qu'ils ont reçu le montant, je pense que c'est 8000 kek. Par rapport à la distribution.
Oui, moi, je peux dire, genre, moi, dans mon camp, on a reçu 4 grants parce qu'on a fait plein de propositions. On les a toutes eues. Puis là, ben, c'est juste que je me demandais, écoutez, on est-tu les seuls à avoir fait une demande de chemin? C'était vraiment juste ça, la particularité, moi, que personnellement, je trouvais juste cocasse, en fait.
Je pense que tu
donnes autre chose. C'était pas de nitpiquer puis d'essayer de trouver une erreur. C'est juste que, en plus, l'adopte ton chemin, c'est un peu particulier comme catégorie. Là.
Regarde, si je peux répondre à ça d'un point de vue stratégique, ce qu'on voulait surtout faire en mettant plein de bourses, c'était de faire réaliser aux gens qu'il y a plein de façons de s'impliquer. Est-ce que ça a été bien communiqué? Ben, il y a eu dans notre post-mortem, c'est comme, ben non. Potentiellement qu'il faudrait avoir un point agglomérant de toutes ces bourses-là, quitte à réorienter les implications. Mais pour nous, je pense que c'est un passage quand même assez nécessaire sur, ben, il n'y a pas juste faire un team, il n'y a pas juste faire de l'or pour avoir une bourse. On voulait faire en sorte que les teams puissent recevoir des sous, qu'on puisse les supporter dans leur création. Les Adopt a Road, l'idée, c'était de faire en sorte que les chemins soient illuminés puis soient animés. Par rapport, ben, après ça, c'est sûr qu'il y a l'effigie puis le temple. On voulait faire en sorte qu'il y ait plus que juste comme des PW qui construisent un effigie. Fait que je pense que il y a comme plusieurs belles réussites, mais il y avait aussi beaucoup de choses qui étaient à tatillon. Fait que est-ce que tout ça a été comme géré de façon optimale? Peut-être pas, mais en tout cas, je pense qu'il y a des bons moves parce qu'on a eu des bourses qui ont été octroyées sur chacun des postes qu'on a proposés. Par contre, il y a eu de l'incompréhension sur comment est-ce qu'on annonçait les bourses. Puis ça, c'est quelque chose qui était déjà envisagé d'annoncer différemment pour cette année.
Je tiens juste à mentionner, c'est vraiment pas un reproche mon affaire. C'était juste, je trouvais que c'était vraiment... J'ai trouvé que, personnellement, par rapport à ça, si on peut faire un retour, genre, j'ai trouvé que Burn, c'était vraiment hot pour la participation artistique, puis tout le monde qui a amené des projets, puis un truc de même, puis j'ai été vraiment étonné par rapport à les 2 autres années, les 2 autres fois précédentes, mettons.
Ouais, je suis d'accord.
Est-ce qu'il y avait d'autres questions, d'autres commentaires? More questions, more comments? I'm warning you that I cannot see my chat room right now, so somebody else is going to have to tell me.
Moi, il n'y a personne dans la salle qui a l'air d'avoir des questions.
OK. So point of order, I think on a besoin d'adopter, c'est-tu ça, Camille?
Oui,
okay.
On adopte. Vous pouvez le faire comme vous voulez. Vous pouvez faire ça quick ou bien avec le vote comme vous voulez.
Quick and easy.
So I would, unless anybody a du quoi contraire, on adopte les temps financiers.
Je suis pas en train de faire un vote, là, c'est pas long. Là.
OK.
Non, pas de vote. Oui, tu nous fais un vote, c'est ça?
Là.
OK.
No, we said no, but it's okay. C'est en cours. Let's go.
Dans une seconde. There we go.
C'est pas les états financiers.
Ah.
Non, c'est pas grave. Say yes anyway.
Yeah. Et c'était le recette de dépenses. What we're going to do next is the état financier.
Doesn't matter.
OK.
Somebody said no.
2 secondes. Tout le monde a voté. OK, so, yeah.
What was the percentage?
It's,
There isn't a no. I was cooking dinner and I didn't vote, but I'm a yes.
Okay.
Don't panic. Sorry.
So can we count this as an additional vote, Arnaud?
that much. I don't know how to do it. Let's reopen it. Kirsten, go on.
Sorry.
Non, c'est le même. Here we go. I'm closing it in 2, 1.
Yay.
So there's a yes at 93% against 7% no. So there was I just got like the percentage. Is it okay for you, Camille?
Do you know how many people voted?
Yeah, we got 15% voting.
Okay.
So it passes. We'll move on to the next point. Caro, c'est aussi toi.
Même chose.
Le rapport
ouais.
annuel. Ouais, le rapport annuel d'état financier.
OK. Alors, pour la différence entre les deux, c'est que le premier document qui a été préparé était, sorry, I'm going to do it in English because since more people have, is this is the document that was prepared by, the original document was the one prepared by Camille and I. This one is the one that we gave the documentation to the accountant, and then they sent it back to us. So it is 99.9% of what it was, what the first document was, just slightly different format. And so the total of sales revenues, 54,000, again, similar to what was there. The sum of all is slightly different because of the fact that on this one, we added the amortization or depreciation of an asset, which is a generator that was purchased, I believe, in 17, excuse me. So the net of revenues minus expenses comes up to $2,700. So the assets grew of that amount. As of the 31st of December, again, 2019, in cash, we had $91. In our bank accounts, we had $20,666.77. The accounts receivable at $240 for a total of assets, short term of about $21,000. As I said, for immobilisations, so for long-term assets, there was a generator that was purchased a few years ago, and the cumulative amortization $219, and so value of on the books of $564, again rounding off, and a intangible asset, which is the frais de constitution, which were the original costs of constituting the organization for the government. So total assets on of the orgasm comes up to $21,753.51. Liabilities, these were the details that were in the previous report of various things, monies that were due, comes up to $739.67, which means that the total avoir des capitaux des propriétaires comes up to currently $21,000. As I said, for people who are versed in financial statements, who are not necessarily versed in financial statements, if you have any questions or if you want certain concepts for me, I can always discuss these. If anyone has any questions, of course, always available. Again, I can't see my chat, so please tell me if there is any specific questions that come out on the chat.
Dinner's ready.
Kirsten's dinner's ready.
Yeah.
Well, yell. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I have to feed my children.
Completely legitimate.
She feeds her children at 8:40 at night. Awesome.
Sarah, c'est ça que tu une question?
Oui. Ben oui, en fait, je suis pas sûre de bien comprendre. Ça veut-tu dire qu'il y a comme 21 000 $ dans les comptes de banque?
Au 31 décembre, oui, il y avait 20 666,77 $.
Puis, est-ce qu'il y a une raison pourquoi il y a autant d'argent? Est-ce qu'on a un plan de qu'est-ce qu'on veut faire avec ça?
Ça, c'est justement...
Chacun de nos événements nous coûte jusqu'à 25-30 000 $.
Ouais.
Et à chaque fois, il faut qu'on couvre tous les coûts. Fait que si on n'a pas le cash, tu sais, par exemple, quand Tabernacle l'année dernière a coûté à peu près 24 000 $, on avait 18 000 dans le compte. Ce qui veut dire qu'il y a beaucoup de dépenses d'avance que tu peux. Fait que si comme on a des événements qui coûtent cher, ça nous prend de l'argent dans le compte.
Fait que ça sert à avancer l'argent pour les événements, dans le fond.
C'est exactement ça. Mais en fait, Sarah, pour te donner un peu de contexte aussi, quand on avait commencé les événements, tout l'argent pour le faire sortait des poches des organisateurs.
Ouais.
Donc, et qu'on a mis tout sur notre carte de crédit. Donc, avec les années, on était capable d'accumuler de l'argent pour que ça ne mettait personne à risque financièrement.
Sauf Arnaud.
Mais c'est possible aussi que cet argent... c'est possible que cet argent soit mis pour faire vivre d'autres projets aussi. Donc, c'est au prochain board à voir, ça serait à quoi utiliser cet argent. Est-ce que c'est pour financer d'autres initiatives? Est-ce que c'est pour mettre plus dans des grants? Est-ce que c'est pour, etc., etc. Donc, cet argent est là pour faire vivre des initiatives au sein de la communauté. Donc, pour le moment, ça sert à ces deux événements-là, mais il y a beaucoup de possibilités.
Oui. Si je peux juste aussi, une des choses que j'ai peut-être pas nécessairement soulevées, c'est que l'année passée, là, pour le Steel Burn, justement, OK, petite parenthèse, excusez-moi, chaque événement s'entend bien sûr que les dépenses vont au minimum, au maximum être les revenus qui vont être donnés. Et par exemple, l'année passée, il y a eu 1 500 supplémentaires de l'orgasme qui est allé à le Steel Burn, justement. Donc, techniquement, le Steel Burn a dépensé plus que qu'est-ce qu'il a rapporté, mais c'est correct parce qu'il y avait 1 500 là-dessus qui était justement comme de
l'argent qu'ils avaient fait l'édition précédente.
Il y avait ça, mais aussi d'autres choses.
Le deuxième, c'est le Annual Art Grant. On a chaque année, le board peut faire à son assemblée annuelle un Art Grant. Et l'année passée, Guy avait proposé que ce Art Grant-là soit donné à Lusted Burn pour augmenter le budget des bourses.
Et ça a été fait.
Oui, ben, je pense que c'est ça. Je pense que tu nommes le bon point. Il y a eu quand même un investissement. Tu as raison qu'il y a un investissement qui était annuel, mais il a été investi sur le Steel Burn.
Absolument.
Nous, on s'est engagé à signer un budget qui retombe à zéro, ce qu'on a fait. So,
ben oui.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Je voulais juste mentionner en termes de cash flow, aussi maintenant avec le compte en banque bien réglé, aussi, on peut aussi recevoir l'argent des billets avant la fin de l'événement, si on le veut. Fait que ça fait que l'orgasme n'est pas obligé d'engager toutes les dépenses à l'avance. On peut aussi essayer de... On n'est pas obligé d'avoir autant d'argent en banque si on sait qu'il y a les ventes des billets qui compensent.
Il y a certainement ça. La seule chose que je dirais comme une petite parenthèse puis un petit bémol, c'est 2020 est une excellente année. Parce que là, la question, c'est que qu'est-ce qui arrive si on est obligé d'annuler genre 3 semaines à l'avance? Right? Hein? Un événement, puis il y a déjà des grosses dépenses qui ont été sorties. Puis oui, tu as raison, on a reçu les revenus, mais on va probablement être obligé de retourner une bonne partie des billets, par exemple. Alors oui, je ne dis pas qu'il faut absolument tous garder ce solde-là, mais en même temps, justement, c'est c'est la question de stratégie, de s'assurer d'une viabilité financière à long terme, justement pour financer, pour aussi s'assurer que justement le fardeau financier ne repose pas uniquement que sur les administrateurs des événements.
Yeah, but that's a good point. I think that's for the next board to decide, like, what's the encaisse, the minimum like cash we want to give in your bank, and just try to just focus on that point. If it's 20, it's 20. If it's 15, it's 15. If it's 25, let's raise and go for 25. So I think that's a good goal, just to be sure that what are we comfortable to get in your bank and just keep it. And the reason Elizabeth bring an interesting point about we are able just to sell tickets and just to get the funds like directly. So is it really needed to get 20K? I think for Tabernacle it is, and so it's fine, but like it's a full discussion. And right now, I think we're all really comfortable about, yeah, we have that amount and we are comfortable to produce and just help to produce events around. So that's cool.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions, d'autres commentaires, more questions, more comments?
I think it's worth mentioning that our insurance, I don't think would cover, I don't know that we have an insurance that would cover, you know, the loss if we had to cancel an event and we had expenses we could not write off.
Probably not.
So like, you know, that would be a thing to consider because we don't have, you know, I'm going to stop there.
Right, that's a full discussion. Like, there's no right now with deposit that are not refundable. So maybe this is a good point. Like, let's build contracts that we have refundable fees because it is COVID time.
New times bring new reflections. I'd like to close this point because we still have actually three more things on the agenda, and our time is passing quickly. So if there's no objections, I'd like to adopt this the financial. Donc Arnaud, tu fais pas de vote pour celui-ci?
Sorry, I missed it. No.
No, it's okay. It's not necessary unless somebody says otherwise. We adopt the état financier.
On l'a déjà adopté au point précédent.
Non, c'est deux choses différentes.
You're making things more confusing for people.
It's okay. We don't have anybody saying against, so we'll count it as adopted.
Good.
Our next point is a rather quick one. It's a question of auditors. So every year we need to decide whether we audit our état financier or not. For complete transparency, the Organisme has never had an auditor, and generally it's not a common practice. It's something that the membership needs to decide, but it's usually only reserved for large corporations whose membership requires more transparency because they have major questions into what's happening in their books.
Because we are like experiencing the same with the makerspace, it's sometimes asked by financiers, but it's not our case right now. So I don't.
Yeah. So we need to vote whether we would like to have an auditor or not. Arnaud, pourrais-tu me mettre au vote, s'il te plaît?
Carol, do you want to explain what would having an auditor mean?
Yeah. So just a quick oversight is when an auditor comes in, not only is it an accountant, but it's a specialized accountant. And these individuals not only come in and verify the transactions and the financial statements, but also the processes and that of the organization. As Asha said, for larger corporations, for example, if you are publicly traded, I believe if you are a charitable donation organization, as well, it is a requirement by law. However, for the purposes here, I don't believe that it is necessary. It would probably cost around $5,000 to $10,000, just to give you a general idea.
Well, this is a great way to use our money.
Exact. Je peux confirmer parce qu'on a fait des soumissions de notre bord, puis c'était ça, c'était 5 000 $ minimum.
Ah, ça coûte une beurrée. Puis ça, c'est sans compter le fait que tu vas être obligé de t'ostiner avec des comptables auditeurs.
Et non, Guy, ça a été.
Arnaud, est-ce que peux-tu nous dire quand le vote est prêt?
Yep, the vote is prêt. So it is open right now. So we want the orgasm to be audited.
Yes! Are you pretending to be Robotart?
Oh, the vote is closed. So there we go. Okay. Do we want the orgasm to be audited? So the result says no, 100%, 18 participants.
Okay, excellent news. Thank you.
Thank you for the great sound.
Yeah. So we're going to pass into the next part of our agenda, which is elections. So the present board of directors, for those of you who don't know, is myself, is Caro, who just presented all the financial documents, is Camille, Audrey. Yeah, sorry. Aaron, Jody, Glenn, and Arnaud. And Arnaud and Audrey were the event representatives. So what's going to happen now is that the event representatives have a mandate of 1 year. So the Audrey and Arnaud, after today, are no longer officially part of the board unless their events choose for them to be a part of the board again. But it's possible that the events choose another representative. So that decision is delegated to the events. And within the organization, there are 6 seats, which we voted on earlier. However, 4 of those seats.
5
of those seats are up for election. So there's a huge change that's coming. Just to give you a little bit of background on that, the people of the members of the board who are choosing to leave is either because their mandate is ending. They had a mandate of 1 year and that mandate is over, or are resigning. I'm not sure if those who are leaving the board want to just say a quick word before they go, if they want to leave, have some parting words before we go on to the election.
I think it would be nice. I think it would be nice to hear quickly from all of us, unless people think it would be too long.
No, I want to hear. Go ahead.
So let's start with Asha.
Me? Oh, I was going to go last because I need to introduce
No,
the next
you're
part.
president. You're president. You get to go first.
Oh, okay. I didn't prepare anything. I'm actually really just doing this on the fly, so thanks for bearing with me. Technically, I have a mandate of 2 years. However, I've chosen to resign after this year, and it's not because I don't love the local Burning Man community, nor because I don't have any more desire to be implicated. It's a question of lack of spoons, quite simply. For those of you who don't know that terminology, I have no more energy to give to it. And because I have no more energy to give to it, I don't feel like I'd be doing a very good job of doing my job. And I'd much rather laisser ma place, céder ma place à quelqu'un d'autre qui peut amener de l'énergie, amener de nouvelles idées, etc. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I'm really proud of the contribution that I've made. And I was one of the founding members of Tabernac 10 years ago, and I stayed with the organization for 8 years. I've been one of the founding members of the Orgasm, and I've been here for, what have we been doing this, 5 years?
6.
6 years.
2014.
6 years. And so I think I've done the best that I can in that time, and obviously wish that I could have done more. But now it's time for somebody else, and want to leave space for somebody to do it who has the energy to give, who has the love to give. That's it. I will say, however, that for the new board that's elected, I am happy to be available in an advisory role. I have a lot of learning, over 10 years of experience of doing this stuff, and a lot of institutional knowledge, and a lot of everything. And even if I can't agree to being responsible to bring those things to term, I'm more than happy to offer that experience as an advisor. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Asha.
Thank you, Asha.
Yeah, that's a long haul. Appreciation to you. That's yeah, I don't know if you can be replaced. You're stuck with us. Maybe when
go ahead.
What's that?
Maybe when we grow up and go to college.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think about it, 10 years, it makes me sound really adult. Like, it's a very, very long time. Anyways, other board members, if you want to say a piece
The
before
Vice President is Jody, if you're interested in seeing.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I'll be quite as eloquent as Asha just was, because that was really well said for not being prepared. I also have pretty much the exact same timeline as Asha has. I think a decade of time served is it's enough for me. I'm feeling a little bit burnt out on this, and I don't feel like it's fair to keep working at it when I don't really have the passion and energy to give, and I really want to make space for new people to come in and really give some new direction to this after us putting in a whole ton of time. I'm just like really excited for someone to take it on and kind of take it across the finish line to make it into like a real big badass organization. I'm really excited at kind of focusing a lot more on my own practice and all the businesses that I'm running right now, and I don't really have the spoons to also be doing this and stay excited about it at the same time. So my mandate is also not up, but I'm also resigning, and I'm just really excited about the people who proposed their candidacies. That's really cool, and I think that the people who are stepping up will have some more gumption than I have to give right now. Yeah.
Thank you, Jody. Our treasurer is Caroline.
Hello.
So Caroline, you had a 1-year mandate.
Yeah.
And are you interested in going forward?
Yes, I feel this year was a year where this is the first year we've had 2 events at the same time. And I think it demonstrated that we need to put into place new processes and procedures on a financial perspective to make life a whole lot easier. And as much as there's a lot of the job that has been done, I still feel that there's something that I can contribute in that regard for the next year. So yes, I am asking for a new mandate if possible.
Thank you for your work. Next is me. I've been secretary of this organization since 2014. I started a little before that getting involved. I actually was at the first Tabernacle, though I was not an organizer back then. My boyfriend was at the time, back when I had boyfriends. So I actually am finishing my 1-year mandate. And last year, when I was elected for 1 year, I said I wanted this year to be my transition year. To be passing on some of the responsibilities I've been taking over to other people. And I think that succeeded greatly with Caro, who has taken over all the financials, and I must say does it with actually understanding what she's doing. So brilliantly. Great. It's great when Guy can have discussion with somebody who understands what he's doing. Because when Guy was asking me questions, I was like, I don't know, it's numbers. So not my, but the main reason why I'm not coming again for a new mandate is because I want to volunteer with you. Because having the responsibility of being an administrator means I don't have time to volunteer. There's always all this list of things that I'm backlogged in my head, and it means I don't have as much pleasure either contributing to an event or like, so I really, it's not Kemi wants to step out, it's Kemi wants to do something else. So I think I'm going to be around, and the board, if you want me, I will be happy to come at meetings, show you things and stuff, and volunteer and take on projects. But I will not propose myself to continue for the board.
Thank you, Kemi, for your great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi.
Thank you. It's kind of like a big moment for us, like to go. Aaron, you're next. Aaron was our communications officer.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the history of how this came together and the impact that I feel that this has had. I started volunteering in Tabernacle 3, and then the Organism sort of blossomed out of a need for us to do some legal shenanigans. But it moved quickly from just supporting Tabernacle to trying to look at the larger burner community. And when I actually came onto the board, as opposed to just helping with organizing Tabernacle, the goal among us that we were talking about was really this idea of how do we bring the community together? We saw a lot of separate little chunks and not a unified burner front, other than the fact that we all got together and partied at Tabernacle. So I'd really like to acknowledge the work that everyone's done, not only to grow the organization, to be able to fund 2 very large, very successful, awesome events, but the multitude of groups coming together and like looking at all of the wonderful faces here and the representation of different groups and initiatives that shows, I think is a success. Yeah, I don't feel that I can give it my all, so I don't. My 1-year mandate is up, and I won't be reapplying. I do want to help support the transition in any ways that I can. I would love to serve on committees still and be involved with the community. I really believe in this community. I think it's fantastic and doing great things. But I know that I just can't give enough for various personal reasons. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Oh, I did want to mention that like Jody and I had been in an organization in Edmonton before we left, and sort of helped that organization grow and get to the point that even now it's like a New Year's festival. It's 10 years later, I guess, and it's still running basically with similar procedures. So being involved in the growth step of starting to put into place some procedures in which a larger structure of an organization can happen has been really fulfilling to me. And I'm really excited about where this can go and continue to grow and build the community. So I think this is really fantastic that this even exists right now. And I think it's got a bright and promising future, and I definitely want to stick around. And who knows, maybe I'll be back on the board someday, but just I can't do it this year.
Fair.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Our next board member is Glenn, our legitimacy officer.
Legitimacy officer. I like to think of me as the compliance officer.
Oops.
For everyone who's complying. I'm not very good at that. Basically, I'm here mainly as the a bridge to the Burning Man organization, at least the regional network, as RC, and as a kind of memory. I'm I've been around since the beginning, and so I have the occasional thing to say about what we've established and what our purpose is. I'm not up for re-election this year, so I don't really have to say anything more.
Our two events representatives. So Audrey.
Well, for me, it was a first experience, first year. I learned a lot during this year, and I was really happy to be there while there was a lot of people that were actually that created the orgasm from the beginning, and to understand where it was coming from, and to know a little bit more where it was, where it is going. Well, for sure, it was for a representative on an event that didn't happen. So I feel that the things that I wanted to give to the community through this position was not fulfilled. And I'm really looking forward to help a little bit more the community in the next year.
Thank you, Audrey. I think you were really helpful, and having you really was nice this year. Arnaud?
Yeah. Part in French, part in English. J'ai été hyper satisfait de rentrer sur ce board-là. Ça n'a pas été une année simple. Je pense qu'il y avait beaucoup d'enjeux, beaucoup de friction, honnêtement, entre l'orgasme puis la seed burn. J'ai l'impression que plus on se parle, plus on se comprend, puis plus on se parle, plus les choses s'intègrent l'une dans l'autre. Ça fait partie du défi que moi, j'ai envie de continuer à apprendre dans la communauté. Je pense que c'est ça. Je suis encore, comme je l'ai mentionné au board sortant pour le board existant, je suis encore intéressé à garder ce rôle-là. Je pense que pour nous, c'est une démocratie au sein de la Seedburn. Il y a beaucoup de nouveaux leads, il y a beaucoup de nouvelles présences. J'ai posé la question s'il y avait d'autres personnes qui étaient intéressées à tenir le rôle. Moi, je me représenterai dans cette position-là. I would like to stay as the representation of the Seedburn because I feel I have a lot of things on my plate, and I really appreciate to get that role with the Orgasm, still being involved as the Seedburn and a part of the Orgasm, but still we will make an election about who's the best representative for the Seedburn later. So.
Thank you, Arnaud.
Cool.
Merci à tout le monde.
Go
Oui,
ahead.
en fait, just a quick recap. So the board members who are leaving are myself, Camille, Jody, and Aaron. So those 4 seats are up for election. Caro is proposing her candidacy for re-election. And then we have 4 candidates for the board, for the other board positions. So the board candidates are Audrey, Kirsten, Elizabeth, and Branda, who I think all of you are here. Yes.
Maybe we can ask if anybody in the audience would like to submit a proposition about himself.
Yeah, thank you. I was just about to do that, Arnaud. So are there any spontaneous candidacies for board election?
Yeah, you know, I've been juggling this for a few days, actually for a lot longer right now. I'm new to this community. I've only been burning really for a year, although I've been involved before that. And after seeing this meeting and everybody there, I think that I could bring a lot to l'Organisme and you know, the burner community in Montreal and all that. So I would propose myself as a candidate.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. Are there any other spontaneous candidacies for board election? Okay, so we have Arnaud, if you can prepare the names, please. Before we go into election, I just want to remind the members, the voting members who are here, that there was a questionnaire that was filled out. So those who didn't have spontaneous candidacies wrote a lot about what they would like to bring to the organization. Eric, tu as parlé très rapidement. But I'd also like to give a quick moment to the others. I know that you already put in some work previously, but if you want to just take about 30 seconds to present yourself and any important points before we pass on to a vote.
Okay, so I will point it out because it's in my survey. So Caro, you want to go first?
Huh? Oh, with just an overview of my contributions. Yeah, sorry. I was working at 8 o'clock this morning. Okay, come on. So for the people who don't know me, I've been burning since 2017. Since 2018, I've been a lead founder and co-lead of Trifecta, which is a camp where we've had a presence at Festive Burn, at Burning Man, Tabernacle. I was also one of the co-leads with Lucky for Tabernacle in 2019. Was it? No. Yes. Anyways, the last one that happened because the series canceled. And last year I proposed myself to become a treasurer of the Organism. I have a very strong background in numbers. Let's just put it that way. I have been working at a financial institution for 17 years. I have a BA and MA in economics, and I'm a certified financial analyst, which is part of the reason why I figured, you know what, I know the numbers, I can help the Organism out. So that's me. Hello.
Perfect. Thank you, Caro. I put Kirsten next.
I mean, I have not been deeply involved in the Organism, I know, mostly because I've been raising children and I travel a lot, but my kids are big now and I spend probably 50 hours a week working and thinking about Burning Man right now. I've been a camp co-lead for a few different camps. I've been burning since 2004 at Black Rock City, lots of regionals, rangering at a number of events, including in Black Rock City. I currently work for Burning Man Project. I've been working for them since August as the communications strategist. My contract was just renewed, so I'll be, as long as their finances are all right. And so far, so good. I'll be there until October at least. I guess what I'm interested in bringing and why the sudden interest and why the sudden involvement is, well, I was asked by a few people, but also I feel like I've learned so much working with the organization, and I feel like I have a lot of institutional knowledge that I can contribute in terms of process, in terms of community building, in terms of understanding how these bigger systems work. I spend a lot of time thinking about the culture, talking with people who are at the core of the culture. And I'm quite fascinated by the acculturation process and community building and how we can be as an organization more involved in our local community, not just for the sake of Burning Man. but also to sort of get on the ground and actually help some of the other humans out there and apply the principles in a wider sense in our lives and in the community. So yeah, I mean, I love organizing parties, but I'm really in it for the community building side, and I'm not sure what role that would be best for. In terms of my career, I mean, I think Elizabeth honestly is the one who should be doing communications if she's interested. So as much as I do communications for a living, I think I'm much more interested in sort of a network building and community building and bringing institutional wisdom and experience.
Thank you, Kay. Next one on my list, Brenda.
Hello. Is that, yeah, that works. Great. Okay. So I ran as volunteer coordinator for Tabernacle for 2019. This year I ran the volunteer team for Tabernacle as well as helped coordinate the lack thereof event. This will be my 4th year as one of the producers for Ontario Regional Hyperborea. I'm the volunteer coordinator for Hyperborea, and I herd 400 cats a year. I think what I'd like to see more of is more community participation and more community involvement, not just with events. Like what can we give back and what can we do? And that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. Great. Audrey?
Oui, alors je suis vraiment plus à l'aise en français, donc ça va être en français pour moi. Comme c'est ça, ça fait 1 an que je suis sur le board et puis comme représentante de Tabernacle et on pourrait se demander pourquoi je change de siège. C'était surtout initialement parce que je voyais la quantité d'efforts qui étaient nécessaires pour certains postes et j'ai l'énergie, moi, pour fournir cette énergie-là. Je voulais m'impliquer davantage et tout. Ce que je suis vraiment heureuse de voir ici, c'est qu'il y a vraiment plein de monde qui sont intéressés à donner cette énergie-là. De l'autre côté aussi, il y a Kirsten et Brenda qui ont parlé de leur vision, de comment les choses pourraient être dans le futur, quoi explorer. Ça me parle beaucoup. C'est des discussions à lesquelles j'aimerais vraiment beaucoup faire partie et voir comment on peut faire évaluer ça. Et effectivement, je n'ai pas besoin de prendre un plus grand poste pour faire partie de ces discussions-là. Je suis convaincue que toutes les personnes qui se présentent ici sont toutes des personnes qui ont d'excellentes qualités et tout. Et je crois vraiment que s'il y avait peut-être, si les gens ne veulent pas nécessairement mettre quelqu'un à l'extérieur ici, ben moi, j'ai aussi l'option de regarder avec les gens de Tabernacle, voir est-ce que vous voulez toujours que je sois la représentante ou si vous décidez que ce soit quelqu'un d'autre. Donc, c'est quelque chose à considérer là-dedans. De façon plus individuelle, oui, je le veux aussi, mais je ne le prendrai pas du tout personnel non plus si les gens tenaient ça en compte un peu dans le processus. À part mon implication dans l'orgasme, dans le fond, tout a commencé quand je me suis vraiment impliquée significativement pour la coordination des volontaires de Tabernacle. Et c'est ça. J'ai eu beaucoup d'expérience aussi au niveau de Lusty Burn et d'autres événements on the side. Donc c'est ça, c'est un peu ma position où est-ce que je veux rester sur le board, mais changer de côté de clôture en termes de nomination ou élection. On verra bien comme qu'est-ce que ça va donner, mais pour de vrai, je suis super contente que Eric ait soumis sa candidature spontanée ici. Donc, j'aimerais que tout ça soit considéré pour pas qu'il y ait des talents qui soient mis de côté quand on a autant de gens motivés qui veulent mettre la main à la pâte.
Parfait. La prochaine personne, j'ai Elisabeth ici. Élie.
Bonjour. L'an passé, j'ai fait les communications pour Tabernacle. Là, j'ai été impliquée dans la billetterie pour le site Burn, que je sais pas, peut-être c'était pour rien. On verra. On sait pas encore. Sinon, à Burning Man, j'aime juste ça y aller, faire du rangering aussi. Puis j'aime ça la communauté, j'aime ça m'impliquer. J'ai beaucoup de temps parce que j'ai pas de travail en ce moment. Puis d'habitude, jamais aussi. Fait que c'est chill, j'ai beaucoup de temps à donner. Puis ça me tente, puis c'est tout.
Cool. Très honnête. Thanks. Eric, je pense que tu nous as dit un peu ta position. Je ne sais pas si tu as quelque chose à rajouter.
Ben, c'est une des raisons pourquoi que je ne me suis pas présenté plus tôt. C'était vraiment parce que je voyais tout le monde qui était vraiment se présentait ou le monde qui était impliqué sur le board en ce moment. C'est du monde avec beaucoup d'expérience. Par contre, moi, j'ai commencé juste l'année dernière, vraiment. J'ai fait plusieurs régionaux, puis le Big Burn. Je me suis impliqué dans tout. J'adore la communauté. C'est quelque chose que je veux qu'il soit en moi, puis je voudrais aider à faire ça grossir. Ma vie à l'extérieur, c'est j'organise des choses. Je m'occupe des opérations pour une compagnie d'émissions de télévision. Ça n'a pas rapport là-dedans, mais je suis quelqu'un d'organisé tout de même. Mais j'ai réalisé vraiment que l'année dernière, c'était un rush. Un rush vraiment débile. Puis après avoir regardé un petit peu du sideline, ben là, je veux m'impliquer. Je veux pouvoir pousser les choses à la place de juste être un participant. Fait que j'ai pas toute l'expérience de tout le monde qui s'est présenté ici, mais je suis quelqu'un qui est vraiment dédié tout de même à ce que j'ai découvert. Fait que c'est ça. Fait que merci beaucoup. Puis je suis désolé de mettre ça à la dernière minute, à 9h le soir, un lundi, mais c'est ça que c'est.
Parfait, man.
Immediacy.
Je pense que ça fait le tour de la table. Asha, es-tu encore présente? Asha, are you around?
Oui, je suis encore là.
So I'm counting right now. Caro, Kirsten, Brenda, Audrey, Elizabeth, and Eric.
Ouais.
Okay. And we have 4 seats to vote, right?
We have 5 seats to vote.
What?
5. The only member, current member of the board who is continuing on is Glenn, and Caro, in order to continue on, needs to be re-elected. Her mandate was only 1 year.
You're right.
Yes.
Perfect.
And
so, yeah,
you go ahead, Asha.
Non, j'ai perdu de fil. Vas-y.
Okay. We missed a step. We needed to appoint an election officer. Arnaud has been kind of, passing the talk to different candidates and managing the votes. So I propose after the fact that Arnaud be her election officer.
Seconded.
Second. Quadrupled.
J'ai une question.
Oui.
Est-ce que l'élection doit se faire par poste ou c'est comme par membre du CA? Puis après ça, c'est là qui détermine les rôles?
C'est une très bonne question, Alex, mais en fait, les personnes sont votées sur le board, puis c'est entre eux qui décident le rôle. Donc, tout simplement, c'est ça. So for those of you in English, the vote is only to vote for who would be a member of the board and not for which post they occupy. The elected board members would decide between themselves who is best suited for which role.
Just want to mention that last year we bring that point about is it something that could be interesting to get seats voted by the roles, and after the facts we vote, and like people have been like choosing themselves, proposing themselves and un rôle défini. Is it something that we would like to bring it back? Maybe it's something you can propose, and like it could be interesting about a contract with the members.
In the past, we had it flexible such that we could change partway through the years to be able to move responsibilities around and just trust that the board was capable of administering themselves. And personally, I don't see the need to restrict it as long as everyone's okay with that.
It might be something that comes up in the future. However, for tonight's election, it's not necessarily on the table. However, if the future board decides that that's something that they'd like to put forward, it's all yours, friends. So Arnaud, would you put the names into a vote? Just so you know, in order for somebody to get voted onto the board, they need 50% plus one vote. So the question, it's vote for the member, vote for the people that you would like to see on the board. And don't vote for the people that you don't want to see on the board. But anybody who receives 50% of the votes plus one can have a seat. So Arnaud, let us know when you're ready.
I want to propose like the way to do it because we are not like in a communal area. I propose to make a vote where everybody got like 5 votes on all the candidates. So you can pick 5 votes and this is it. Is it okay for everybody?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Perfect. So there we go. Board members election, 5 vote, 5 voter. And I will push it on. There we go. It's ready.
Can I have 6 votes?
Why?
I like everybody.
Oui, on a des bonnes élections.
C'est vraiment drôle de voir les chiffres bouger avec les
Ouais, hein?
So I think we're done. We do have 18 voters. Everybody is good. Est-ce qu'on est 18? Whatever. No, on est 18. So I'm closing it in 2 seconds. 1, 2. So I will show the results to you. There we go. So we got Brenda, 100%. Caro and Elizabeth ex aequo at 94%. Then Kirsten at 83%. Then Audrey at 72%. And then Eric at 56%, with 18% voting for the elections. Should I make a... Ouais, je vais faire une capture d'écran pour le... OK.
Ça veut dire que quand même, les 6 personnes recevaient plus de 50% d'approbation de tout le monde. Ça veut-tu dire ça? Je suis pas sûre. En tout cas.
Ouais, ben ma façon de lire ça, c'est comme de personnes qui ont reçu le plus de votes, mais c'est sûr le plus de votes. Donc ça veut dire que c'est je vois plus le résultat, mais Brenda, Audrey, Caro, Kirsten.
And Elizabeth.
And Elizabeth. Merci, merci Maude. Je ne le vois pas devant moi. Donc, ça veut dire qu'Eric n'était pas élu sur le board de cette année. Mais ça ne veut pas dire qu'il ne pourrait pas être élu dans les années à venir.
Exact.
Donc, merci. We have a new board.
Thank you. There's one more step before we're done. Thank you, Eric, first for your candidacy. It was very appreciated. Plus, you gave us a hard time with the vote, so good job.
Nice.
There is one more step. I'm going to add that, as you know, in order to make sure that we have a continuation in the board, certain people must have a 1-year term and certain people must have a 2-year term. What our bylaws say is the following: which directors are subject to a shortened term is determined by the board members before the election is closed, either by consensus or by random draw. So the newly elected members, you can choose to you can say whether or not you want a 1 or 2 mandate. And if you cannot choose, then we will charge Guy with organizing a yearly draw of who gets 1-year or 2-year mandates. The discussion is on you.
Yeah, table to you guys.
Moi, je me porte déjà volontaire pour un mandat de 1 an.
Voyons donc!
Hey, tu me mets pour 1 année. Wow, wow, tabarnak!
Ça avance bien.
Non, c'est dans la fois.
Moi aussi, j'aimerais ça me porter volontaire, faire ça juste 1 an.
Brenda, are you following this in French?
There's also Glenn, who has 1 year left on his mandate.
So
So that means of the 6 board members, there would be Glenn, who has 1 year left on his mandate, Caro, qui s'est porté volontaire, and Elizabeth. So that means that the other newly elected board members would have a 2-year mandate. So that's Kirsten, Brenda, and Audrey. We're good? We're good. On ferme l'élection.
So I hear Elizabeth and Caro.
Yeah. Fantastic. We're almost done, friends. It's been a long meeting, but lots of really important stuff was discussed. To finish on a positive note, and one that brings us towards dreaming of the future, I have a question that I want to ask you. I'm going to put it into the comments. So the question is actually in our agenda. So it's dans la prochaine année, j'aimerais X pour les membres de l'organisation et la communauté locale. So in the next year, I would really like X for the organization's members and the local community. So I'm going to copy the questions into the comments, and whatever that X is for you, whether it's one word, a full phrase, a paragraph, a color, whatever it is that inspires you, that you want the newly elected board to know of what your wishes are for the upcoming year, just to write it into the comments. We'll integrate it into our notes. So I'm going to give everybody about 2 minutes, 2 minutes for this, pendant le temps que je vous écris.
J'aimerais prendre la parole 1 minute.
Oui.
D'abord, merci Asha. C'est une super bonne initiative. Somme toute, I would like to say a special thank you to the person that have been holding that project that is Organisme for many years. I know it's a difficult moment for you, and I know this is like kind of pushing the baby in other hands. And by myself, I really believe in that baby, and I just want to be sure that you feel that we want to take care of it. And anyways, the way I see it is just like reorganizing yourself to be like more oriented to the future. So I want to just make a special thank you to all of you, like the part here, and yeah.
And if I could say one last thing, I want to say that this organization would not exist at all without the amazing work of our Danger Bunny, who put it together and, built this substructure for us that we could build on it. And we would be like turtles with our feet in the air were it not for the organizational savvy and drive of Asha, who has kept us in order all these years. Thank you so much, you guys. You're very, very awesome. And Aaron, we wouldn't be anywhere without Aaron's musical talents and organization of the sound system and so on for so many tabernacles. And I could go on and on, but you're all totally amazing. And Jody, fantastic in every way. So thank you all for your contributions. And I also wanted to say that I made a short list of when you all stepped back from the organization, I had a brief panic when I thought, who the hell could replace these people? I don't know who is in our city. Well, wait, I'll make a list. And I started writing down names. 5 of those names have, 6 now is the step forward and are now taking your place. And this makes me very happy and gives me much hope for the future. Thank you all.
Aww. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for keeping us together all these years.
Yeah, you can even cry a little bit. Thanks. Thank you. I really appreciate how much you've stepped up into the community in the last season. Thanks for taking our baby forward.
I think it's a beautiful step. Like, we've taken a project that was, we've taken a project that was 100, people party. We've made it into a formal party. We've created a corporation. We've added another event. And now we have a structure that itself is able to launch. And basically this is it. Like, basically it's you guys taking over to be able to push it forward because it's yours now. So that's why the pink. I'm really happy that somebody is taking this forward and bringing it further than I could ever. But I'm also so grateful for all the community building that this has allowed me.
It's really dramatic, huh? You're not dying right now. You're just like positioning yourself in a better position. So what's next?
I know.
Asha, presidential, you want to end this? You want to cry? You want to cry?
I'm being like completely squished by my cats right now. So it's kind of hard. I was just wanted to give a few last minutes for people as they were reflecting on the question that I gave in the comments. There's a few suggestions that are rolling in. So I actually just want to I don't know. I have more feelings than thoughts that I can put into words right now. So I guess I'll finish what I need to say as an immense thank you for trusting me for so long in the crazy and stupid initiatives that I want to put forward. And I'm really, really happy to hand this over to people that I think are going to do an amazing fucking job with it. I couldn't be happier with the new board, with the number of people who showed up at tonight's meeting, to continue to see the organization and the membership grow, to see the initiatives. Tout ce qui est écrit dans les commentaires pour le moment, c'est comme, tout ce que je veux dire, c'est comme oui, j'ai envie de tout ça. Puis je pense qu'on est dans une meilleure position que beaucoup d'autres types de communautés pour faire rayonner, puis comme faire rayonner de gens dans l'intérieur de nos communautés pour comme amener de la beauté dans le monde. Donc, c'est un peu ça. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui nous rassemblent. Puis c'est pas par manque d'implication, c'est pas un manque d'implication en vie pour créer un monde meilleur. Donc on va trouver notre façon. Thank you so much. Sur ça, on va laisser la chaîne ouverte pendant quelques minutes encore pour que les gens puissent laisser leurs commentaires. Je demanderai peut-être à Camille de les intégrer dans notre PV pour la réunion. But I motion to end the meeting in an official capacity, but we can leave the channel open for a few more minutes if people want to stick around and chat or continue to write their responses in the comments.
Would people be okay with their name being linked to the comments in the meeting notes? I can put it anonymously. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
just it seems like that would be easiest.
Okay.
Does someone second my proposition to end the meeting?
Second.
Third.
I love all y'all, but tomorrow morning at 8 I have to work.
Yeah, it's time to go, friends. So thank you all for your participation. You're amazing. I can't wait to see what comes up next.
Alléluia.
Merci tout le monde.
Hi, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Always great to see your smiling faces.
I'll drink to that.
François, c'est nice, t'es resté réveillé jusqu'à la fin.
Hey!
Fatigué pour la semaine prochaine, c'est ça?
Ouais.
Night, kiddos.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good night, all.
Quoi, Mathieu? À Montréal, ça a l'air nice. Il fait chaud cette année?
Oh ouais. Chaud que l'outre-mer, mais ça s'en vient. Moi aussi, je dois travailler à 8 heures, mais je me plains moins que Caro, mais je vais encore aller prendre une bière, puis une cigarette, puis je suis bien content avec toute cette réunion, puis de voir tout le monde.
C'est aussi parce qu'il travaille, mais il travaille pas autant quand il connaît sur son ordinateur comme moi, c'est-tu.
I love y'all. Take care.
Salut.
Bonjour François, je pense que c'est la première fois qu'on se rencontre.
Oui, c'est la première fois.
C'est un plaisir de te rencontrer.
C'est Arnaud qui m'a invité. Je suis impliqué dans l'espace maker, puis je suis curieux à propos des burns, puis de tout ce qui tourne autour. Je ne sais pas encore c'est quoi un orgasme, là, mais à mon âge, c'est pas grave.
En fait, il y a une explication sur pourquoi on s'appelle comme ça. Non, mais attends, l'explication est bonne. Quand, en 2014, 3 semaines avant l'événement, on a reçu une lettre qui nous disait qu'on ne pouvait pas enregistrer le nom Tabernacle parce que c'était en anglais et obscène. Et là, on était à 2 semaines, on était genre à 1 semaine du moment limite pour présenter notre demande à temps pour faire notre permis d'alcool pour l'événement. Et là, il fallait un nom. Fait qu'on a juste écrit Organisme de décompression des Brûleurs de Montréal, parce que Tabernacle, c'est une décompression. Puis on a dit, on se trouvera un raccourci le fun. Fait que comme le nom était tellement plate, le monde a dit, OK, organisme, skip quelques lettres, voilà, c'est ça un orgasme. Alors c'est comme ça qu'on est devenu l'orgasme, parce que Tabernacle était obscène.
Ben là, si Tabernacle est obscène, puis orgasme ne l'est pas, je ne sais plus que c'est qui est quoi, là.
Mais orgasme n'a pas été enregistré.
Ah, OK.
Alors, c'est le surnom de l'organisme. Et pour ceux de nous qui sont anglophones à la base, c'est difficile de comprendre la différence entre organisme et organisation. Et organisme ne se traduit pas, puis ça s'écrit presque comme orgasme. Donc,
organisme, ouais.
C'était aussi un aussi.
OK, fait que je vais continuer à vous suivre, puis I'll keep an eye on you guys.
Ouais, t'as dû être un petit peu déçu, François. On n'a pas rien mis en feu, là.
Ouais, c'est ça. Il fallait brûler de quoi à soir.
Je pense pas que nous, on a besoin de brûler quoi que ce soit cette semaine. Je pense que ça va. It's taken care of. Somewhere out there, something is burning.
Si j'avais pu voter, Eric j'aurais voté pour toi. OK. Ciao.
Merci, Frank.
Ciao.
So thank you for this tonight. It was my first time as an Orgasm member. I'm really looking forward to be able to get even more involved. Probably in the next year, I will propose myself as a board member as well. but like, thank you for this. It was fun.
Well, I like your definition of fun.
You should see what I am doing like as a day-to-day job.
Definitely.
There's a lot of discussion coming up, but like, yeah, there's like many other ways to get involved as I think. So Maud will bring you.
Like I have plenty.
Yeah.
I was looking at this summer and I was just like, actually, it was maybe a good idea that all those events didn't happen because my plate was so full, but it would have been fun. I like herding cats.
Techniquement, tu peux te présenter en tant que représentant de Tabernacle, maintenant qu'Audrey a plus sa place.
Oh.
Actually, I have already written a message to Audrey during like the meeting. Like,
j'ai vu après l'élection, mais effectivement, j'étais très contente de le lire.
So you might see my face again. Good night. Working tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Maud, c'était notre LNT pour Tabernacle 10, en fait. Et qui était très enthousiaste.
Excellent LNT this year.
No trace at all. Comme si ça s'est jamais passé.
Ouais, c'est
comme on a 20 000 piastres à flober, là.
Achat. All good.
Hein?
You good?
Oui. J'écoute. Pourquoi?
No, just want to be sure.
Mais tu penses que
Non,
j'ai des feelings?
Mais non, mais I know it's a moment right now.
Ah, ouais. Mais it's a good moment, though. Ouais. C'est pas du tout mauvais pour moi. En fait, je suis très, très contente puis comme très, très excitée pour la prochaine étape. Donc, I have si c'était une relation, j'aurais beaucoup de compersion pour le board. Mais en fait, non, ça se peut pas parce que je fais plus partie de la relation. Donc, never mind. Mais,
For now.
Ouais, étant donné mon track record, c'est possible que je m'empêcherai pas pour faire d'autres choses, mais je me donnerai une break.
I think it's interesting because I don't think we would have been able to get as many new board members last year, for example. Also, having the meeting remotely like this makes it possible for a lot more people to come than having to show up at a house.
Possible, or just because, hey, there's a lot of people that don't know what to do. I'm just joking.
But no, like a lot of new people, or like people that last year, like, you know, were listening into the Facebook feed, but did not have an occasion to participate or interact directly.
Mais je pense que ça rend le meeting clairement plus accessible. C'est quelque chose qu'on devrait comme peut-être pas. Il y a des good points about the COVID, about like new ways to communicate and make it easier in your life. Mais même là, je pense qu'il y avait quand même du monde sur YouTube. Pas beaucoup. Je pense moins que l'année passée. On avait-tu feedé l'année passée?
Oui. Sur Facebook.
Là, j'avais choisi de le mettre sur YouTube pour pouvoir créer un enregistrement puis une archive. Ce que Facebook est un peu moins comme open. Fait que c'est ça, il y avait comme 3-4 viewers dans la soirée. Je sais pas combien il y en avait l'année passée.
Plus que ça. Je me souviens pas, mais c'était sur Facebook, puis il y avait comme une vingtaine, je crois.
Okay.
Mais c'est possible que beaucoup de monde qui a été viewers l'année passée sont de personnes qui ont participé par la rencontre Zoom cette fois-ci, tu vois. Ouais.
Ouais, Sarah dit qu'elle était l'année passée, puis là, elle était participante. Elle a posé des questions.
OK. Je vais quitter, les amis.
Goodbye, President. Just so you know, technically, as long as they don't vote themselves in, you and me are still, we're not board members, but we're still executives for now. So let's get them to vote as to who's president too soon.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night,
Nice.
guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Merci pour tout encore.
Ben oui.
Yep.
Au gros
So,
Okay, so I've copied all the chat. I think I have everybody. Let me check. Yeah. I have from Ash's message to my post.
Est-ce que tu as besoin des résultats des votes? Chill, tu les as toutes,
Je les ai toutes prises, mais pour les archives, ça serait bien que tu les... s'il y a moyen de les enregistrer puis de les... En même temps, je ne mettrais peut-être pas si ça révèle le vote. Est-ce que ça révèle le vote secret des gens? Non? À ce moment-là, oui, je le garderai dans le dossier de la rencontre.
Ben, tu peux, mais je ne le ferai pas. Pour les autres, that's it. OK.
Is it weird that I feel lighter?
Ben oui.
It doesn't feel weird that you are lighter. It just, he's saying that it's normal.
Yeah, you're weird, Kevin.
Yeah, that's it. Ben oui.
Yes! Oui. J'ai vu un des meilleurs posts aujourd'hui qui m'a vraiment fait penser à vous. Well, y'all wanted a Burning Man for 2020. The universe provides. Meaning we don't have Burning Man, we just have a burning world.
That's it.
So.
OK, so I got... ouais, c'est ça. Je vais vous partager l'écran. Ça te va-tu, ça, Camille? Il y a d'autres moyens d'exporter les données. Mais j'ai ça ici là, qui est déjà fait.
C'est super, c'est parfait. C'est un gros win.
Bon, fait qu'on sait toujours pas faire comme un webinaire.
Bonne chance en la prochaine.
Sérieux, j'étais comme... je pense que c'est dans les paramètres initiaux de création de ton
Quand tu as envoyé le lien au départ, ça veut dire.
C'est ça.
Tout est possible ou pas. Là, j'avais marqué non, comme si c'était dans notre quand c'est une réunion, c'est est-ce que ça s'ouvre, la vidéo s'ouvre, puis l'audio.
Par défaut.
Pareil. J'ai vraiment été slacker. Fait que, ouais, c'est ça.
Est-ce que tu as ta réunion de l'espace maker bientôt ou bien c'est déjà fait?
Ça aurait dû être elle qui organise ça. Il y a Antoine Quirillon aussi. Antoine Quirillon, il a fait ça pour des associations. Fait que, he knows. Mais je voulais juste que. Moi, je n'étais vraiment pas confortable. Mais je ne suis pas tant plus. Là. Moi, je sais comment ça se passe. Du point de vue comme coordonnateur. Là.
Ben, en tout cas, moi, je trouve que tu as fait une super job. En toute honnêteté, là. Chapeau.
Good job.
Il faut virer chaud dans 3 verres, tes chips, 3 questions, puis après, c'est plus relax. Ouais, au début, je ne savais pas. Ouais, c'est ça. Parfait, c'est fait.
OK. Bon, mais je vais y aller. Adieu.
Ouais,
félicitations à tout le monde. Merci beaucoup pour votre participation. Salut.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bonne fête de soirée.
Audrey. Faut que je vire ça de bord.
Il y a Mitch.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais? T'as même pas voté! Attends, je pense que je peux sonner un carillon chez eux.
Peux-tu stopper le live YouTube pour que...
Qu'on gosse? Yeah!